Okay, so today is a new project, and I'm sitting here with
Kelnacca.
Kelnacca.
Kelnacca KalRizzian, formerly of Kelnacca KalRizzian, Lord of the Ewoks. But I got.
You're spiking it.
I'm spiking?
Yeah. You see how big your waves are?
Oh, shoot.
That's gonna pop.
How about more like this?
Go ahead, try.
Yes. Kelnacca KalRizzian, right? Okay, is that a good tone?
Yep.
Okay, my name is Kelnacca KalRizzian, formerly Kelnacca KalRizzian, Lord of the Ewoks. But I got logged out of the channel, and I don't have to get back in.
That's awesome. And have you not resolved that?
No, I haven't resolved it. So we go into a new channel. I got 15 subscribers. Shout out to my cousin, Darrell. Thank you, man. I appreciate you calling everyone.
That's awesome. Okay. I am commonly known as Rambo. I do Barrybottomproductions. I have 293 subscribers as of today.
That's good.
It fluctuates. Little bit about me. I've been doing film reviews. That's been my new one. I just did a film review on Alien for the new Alien Romulus, which you saw last night.
Yes, I did.
You want to give a spoiler-free review?
Dang, like this movie, it just makes you hate corporations. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, you talking about Wayland? Nice.
Oh, dang, well, okay, that's the only corporation everybody knows.
Yeah, everyone knows Wayland's attached to Alien. And if you didn't know, Alien in its story was it's created, also found by Wayland. They wanted to use it as an everlasting life resource because they think it's a beautiful creature. Did you not see Covenant?
No, I remember Covenant. I saw that was like 7 years ago. I saw it at theaters.
It was literally 7 years ago. That was the last Alien.
Yeah, but I fell asleep halfway.
Damn.
So wait, no, I didn't fall asleep. Wait, what happened? No, that was The Dark Knight Rises.
Okay.
No, but Alien Covenant, I do remember.
Dark Knight Rises came out in 2012.
Yeah, dang, that was a long time ago.
Mm.
No, see, when you get older, like I am, you just start seeing the years blurred all together.
Yeah, one thing I like to do when counting time is I say it's pre-pandemic.
That's the new BCAD.
Yeah, like I don't know about you, ever since 2020, everything's been like, oh, this is the new age, you know? We got to deal with different things. We have different societal norms. Just politics in general, the world, the economy. It's all just out of whack.
It is.
And it hasn't recovered since then.
And honestly, but for me, life has been like this since 2016.
Okay.
Which was the year I graduated high school.
That would make sense.
In the sense of, like, I feel like your first couple years after graduating, if you're not pointed into a direction, you kind of just feel more...
You're just floating through life.
Yeah, you're just floating.
Yeah.
You feel more floaty. So, like, I had no contact with anyone for the first 18 months after I graduated.
What were you doing?
I was just working a lot.
Okay. Well, you had contact.
No, I worked late at night at a grocery store.
Oh, you're doing overnight stocking?
Yeah, overnight stocking, but it was at a different store than I was working previously. Because right now my job is in...
You don't have to talk about your job. It's okay.
My job is in filing.
Oh, yeah, I guess technically, yeah.
So I don't even get to see people now. But yeah, I was working at a grocery store, and 3 nights a week... It was like a little grocery store, so all I had to do was just zone the whole store. If you don't know what zoning is, I just had to make the aisle look like it was full.
So yeah, you're just facing all the products, which can be very time consuming.
But I had all 8 hours to do all 24 aisles.
That's not too bad.
No, it wasn't too bad. The only bad part was that they told me that since the bell to hear when the delivery man comes, it's broken. So They said you got to keep the front doors open.
Oh no.
And so the first time a homeless person came in, I just told him, go away. And then I locked it. And then
you locked the delivery driver out, didn't you?
No. What I did was I put a piece of paper. I said, call this number. So I just kept my phone on. And then when, they called, I went up to the front and just opened it for people that need to come.
Okay. Yeah. I've worked at grocery stores as well. I've done produce, cashiering, overnight stocking. Cashiring's the worst.
It is.
There's no love or respect. And, when you're doing the self-checkout, you deserve that. So we're actually here. We're going to start up this project talking about Star Wars The Acolyte.
Yes.
Which was the newest Star Wars television show on Disney+.
And you people treated that show so terribly. I'm honestly sad about it. It still breaks my heart.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to talk about Episode 3. And why people got upset, even though none of that's actually there. We've both watched the show twice to prepare ourselves for this conversation.
Yes.
And we have a ton of other things. It's not just going to be Star Wars, but this episode is about Star Wars.
Yes, just to let you guys know my background on Star Wars. If you were to tell me, Kelnacca, what is the Skywalker saga to you? It's episodes 1 through 6. I am a George Lucas purist, and I believe we were under better times when he was in charge. Force Awakens can come to the barbecue. Rogue One can come to the barbecue. Andor can come to the barbecue. Clone Wars Season 7 can come. Well, really, Clone Wars Season 7, we could argue... You can sit here and argue if it was a Disney Star Wars, because all that was made before.
Yeah, isn't 7 the final season?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, for me, Star Wars... I remember watching episode 4 when it got re-released in theaters back in like the 90s before episode 1 was released. I saw episode 1 in theaters. I remember having the DVD, the VHS of it, and I would re-watch it over and over again because I just loved Anakin. And I remember we also got this special like film reel.
Oh, I did too.
Yep, when you hold it up to the light and you can see which scene it was.
Oh, that's good memories.
Yep. Episode 1, 2 I finally came around to. Attack of the Clones, episode 3, I love. It's my favorite episode.
Attack of the Clones gets no love, but Revenge of the Sith goes hard.
It does.
Phantom Menace, I don't know. I just have a weird fixation.
Fixation, yeah.
Thank you. With it, it's my favorite out of the 3 prequels.
Okay. No, it's an awesome film because like it was the first time I realized what storytelling and editing does for a film, and having the Gungans fighting the droids. Having Padme and her team trying to infiltrate or regain the capital. And then you got the Jedi fighting Darth Maul. And then now you got Anakin, because he branches off at some point, where they all just branch out, right? And Anakin's up in the sky fighting with his fighter jets, right?
Right.
And all of that happening at once, and you got to keep track of what's going on, and it shows you just a little bit, and then it moves on to the next thing to show you a little bit, and moves on to the next thing. And I just thought that was really cool.
It was very, how would I put it, bold.
Yes.
Because you really could have lost people, and I think you did lose some people, but that's what you got to do when you're making, like when you're trying to be groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's also an epic. Yeah, a lot of that film, the CGI, which still looks great today. Industrial Light and Magic is just top notch always. They really, when they did that film, they changed the way people looked at CGI. The makeup, prosthetics, even when you look at Darth Maul, today, the horns, the makeup.
Of course, that's why when I was a kid, Darth Maul was always like worse than Vader.
Yes. Yeah, well, I think one of the biggest problems with Vader, the Stranger, and Kylo Ren, which I love all 3 of them. I'm a big fan of Sith Lords. The problem is when they hide their face, it takes away the humanity of them.
Yes.
And they just become this soulless monster almost. Well, with Darth Maul, he looks more like a demon from hell.
That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
And that also goes along with like Mustafar. We're gonna talk about this next year when Revenge of the Sith's 20th comes up, which I'm still surprised by.
Wait, only 20?
Yeah, next year. Yeah, it's next 2005.
Damn.
2025. Dang, we had to take a moment for that.
It's been a while.
I remember when I remember opening night when I saw it.
Yeah.
And my dad told me this is the last one you're gonna see.
I know. We all thought that was over. I saw it twice in theaters. I loved it that much. And then, do you remember when Lucas collected all 6 of them and released them as a box set?
Yes.
I have it. It says the complete saga on it.
And it's not lying.
And then, I'm not kidding, 6 months later, he sold it to Disney and they're like, we're making episode 7. And I was like, great.
I still remember the day, it was 2013 when I first heard about it. And my little sister came in and she said, Kelnacca, they making episode 7. I'm like, what are you talking about? There ain't no episode 7. The prophecy was fulfilled.
Yeah. Nope. We gotta bring Palpatine back.
Which, as a little kid, I went along with the prophecy. But now, as I'm older, that was a lot. He just stole that from messianic type of, archetype, like the chosen one, which that's what it's called. Anakin's the chosen one.
Yeah, well.
So I kind of fell out of love with it.
George Lucas was following Carl Jung's Journey of the Hero.
Yes.
The hero's journey. And when you look at Carl Jung's work, you can just basically fit that into almost any goddamn story now. Sorry for swearing.
No, it's good. No, I'm not against it.
You're not against it. Okay, well, there we go. I'll try not to swear too much, but sometimes it happens. Anyways, it doesn't it's not the only way to tell a story. But for some reason, Hollywood really got obsessed with this idea of the hero's journey. I have issues with it. I feel like you don't always have to be brought into a new world in your second act. You know, the darkness of the heart doesn't have to happen until before the climax. That's
correct.
Yeah. I like it when the darkness of the heart is actually the inciting incident.
Right.
And then we can propel ourselves even further. Or we can have two darkness of the hearts, you know.
Correct.
I can't think of a movie that did that.
Because it's like, with the hero's journey, like, if every story starts doing it, you start seeing it in everything, and it just takes you out of the experience.
Yes. I should probably explain what the hero's journey all the way is, for those of you who don't know. Do you know it?
Yes, but I'm terrible at explaining stuff like this.
Okay. You got Act 1, which is going to be your introduction of characters.
Typically, like, your hero is kind of like, you know, like young,
weak,
like excited to do things.
Yep.
Think of your, you know, Luke.
Yep.
Think of Neo.
Well, yeah, episode 4 is a great way to place this in there because it follows it exactly.
See that, and this is going to be kind of rare, y'all. He doesn't like episode 4 like all the rest of us.
Like episode 4.
He don't like it. This man will be disrespectful to episode 4 all the way.
It's not only 4. I still don't like 5. I've learned to respect it.
Wait a minute. I didn't know this.
I don't like 4 or 5.
This is new to me. So wait, you're saying you don't like The Empire Strikes Back?
Not really.
Dang. Okay, we got that's gonna be an episode one day. That's gonna be behind the paywall because that's something that nobody's allowed to say or no one could ever say.
But I'm just gonna. It's not Lando. It's everything around Lando.
So wait. Okay, one thing, because you don't like the design of Cloud City.
Well, again, we'll talk about that later.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's behind the paywall. So just letting y'all know just letting you guys know. For $1.99, we'll find out, and I'll find out too. I'm gonna be paying.
Okay.
I can't believe you don't like The Empire Strikes Back.
We'll get there. So, after your first act, right, it will end with the inciting incident, and this usually propels your main character to leave the world that he currently knows, or they currently know, into this journey to become a better person or resolve this evil conflict, right? So, for Luke, his aunt and uncle are killed by the Empire, and now he's stuck with old Ben, right? And he's got his droids.
Correct.
So once he does that, they leave the desert, Tatooine, into the city Mos Eisley, and there they get introduced into the bar. I can't remember the bar.
The Mos Eisley Cantina.
Yeah, so the cantina, right? And then in there, we're introduced to other alien creatures. We see that there's actual like life beyond where Luke's been, because there hasn't been anyone else except for him, Ben, his aunt and uncle, and the Jawas. Right. And now we see that this place is a little bigger. We also are introduced to the true power of a Jedi weapon, the lightsaber.
Yes.
And that there is danger in the city, right? And then we're introduced to Han Solo, who takes us a little further. And what's the darkness of the heart in that one? Isn't it when they're about to get crushed?
Oh, are you talking about like later on?
The trash compactor?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that? No, it's when Obi-Wan gets killed by Vader.
Yeah, that would be more impactful.
Yeah, and so Luke has to run away, realizing he was defeated, he lost his mentor character, and we further establish that the bad guys are seriously bad guys, and they'll kill good guys, right? Then eventually Luke, Han, and Leia turn around with the rebels to fight back, and they win, right?
Right.
And that's your 3-act structure right there. I mean, it's simple. You can tell every story that way.
But I would say that A New Hope has the best, because I just need to know, it has the best. Wouldn't you say it had the best space battle? A New Hope.
No, it's just the best example for the hero's journey.
No. I'm saying, I just want to know because it's bothering me since you said A New Hope, not in your top 3.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Where is it?
I'm just so fixated on this.
If Rogue One's a -10, I would.
You don't like Rogue One,
dude? Oh my! This makes me so mad.
We're gonna get to the Acolyte soon, but you don't like Rogue One?
Well, here's the thing: you guys are supporting terrorism. That's your main characters in that story are terrorists.
Well, we got to because this is a fascist organization.
See, I like the Empire. it makes sense in that galaxy.
It makes sense, but they don't have to do. They don't got to do the stuff that they do.
What?
Did they really need to make a Death Star, something called the Death Star, and blow up Alderaan?
Did the U.S. have to make nuclear weapons?
We ain't gonna go there. That's not a fair. That's not a fair.
That's based on.
That's not a fair example.
That is a very fair example.
That is not a fair example.
That is exactly what that is.
My house got destroyed in Alderaan.
Well, yeah, Alderaan's gone. I can't believe he didn't blow up Coruscant in episode 7. That still blows my mind.
No, you would have pissed off so many people.
I know. I honestly thought Starkiller Base destroyed it, but yeah.
When you were at theater? When you were at the theater?
Yeah.
No, I knew it when I saw it in theaters. I was like, oh. I'm like, wait, that's not Coruscant.
Hi.
You can't do that to Coruscant.
What? It's on there for like 4 seconds.
I was shocked that they said, but that was the behind the scenes thing where they said that was gonna be Coruscant. But I was like, no, the fans wouldn't let you. No, they would have burned down. They would have burned down Disney Studios.
Okay.
That's how much Coruscant means. I was raised on Coruscant.
You were raised on Coruscant.
Yes.
And your home is on run. Wait.
I don't stay at just the one place.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I was gonna chill anywhere in this universe, it would be Naboo.
Actually, that is a nice planet.
And Naboo.
You probably get a good timeshare there. But I'm not sharing.
Naboo is based on Napa Valley and Italy.
Yes.
And
that's where some of the shots. That's where a lot of it was shot in Italy.
Yeah, especially like episode 2 at the end when they're getting married. Those houses there on the water, they're like multi-million-dollar homes, but they're often used in like exotic spy thrillers. You can see them showcased in Casino Royale.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of Bond. They love filming over there in Italy. Just because it's so beautiful. Yeah, Naboo is just nice. I think it's weird that Palpatine's from like the most peaceful, beautiful planet.
Hey, the evil can come from anywhere.
I guess. What are my top 3 Star Warses?
I just need to know, y'all. I'm sorry. We're going to get to the Acolyte soon. I just need to know.
Don't worry. It's only 20 minutes. We're going to keep going.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like this. Because I need to know why.
Yeah.
He said Empire. He don't like Empire. I hope Empire's not on the bottom.
Well, definitely with Empire, you have to respect it in a way of how do you make a sequel to something that bad? And
that bad.
And still keep the audience entertained.
He's making fun of my top 2.
You see how I used 5 to hit 4?
Thank you. I learned my lesson.
No, so yeah, you were talking about Spider-Man the other day and how you liked Beyond the Spider-Verse?
Wait,
Across the Spider-Verse.
Beyond's
the third one.
The reason why I like Across the Spider-Verse more than Into the Spider-Verse, there's a lot of reasons. Across the Spider-Verse just reminds me of my teen years. And also, like, the soundtrack was a lot better. It was more complimentary. Into the Spider-Verse... No, don't do that. No, Into the Spider-Verse's soundtrack was very, like... all, like, I'm a older dad. I'm just gonna put young music on. Like, that's what it felt like. But Across the Spider-Verse very much flowed with the animation.
Are we talking about the soundtrack or the original songs written for it?
Soundtrack.
Okay.
Soundtrack. Well, the original songs written for it, I feel like they're great in both those movies.
Yes.
So, but like just like when because like it is kind of prevalent. It's there. That's what I mean. It's there. What?
Prevalent.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
It's there.
It's there.
Across, and then also like I don't know. I like Miles being more confident in himself. I like Gwen feeling him a little bit. That was nice, and I liked him being there with his family and stuff like that. That was cool. Mm-hmm. I like seeing all the spider people together.
Yeah.
And then them chasing him, that was iconic. That's the best movie chase in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot going on there.
And it just sucks that we gotta wait another 5 years for Beyond.
5 years?
Yeah, man. When the third one comes out, it's gonna be 10 years since the first one.
Oh, that's how you're doing math.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes out next year, though.
Beyond doesn't come out next year?
Yeah, it does.
No, that would have been big news.
What?
No, okay, we're gonna look this up.
Yeah, hold on.
No, y'all. No. They said it was an indefinite. Don't Ram. Don't put my hopes up.
Beyond the Spider-Verse, next installment, IMDb.
Granted, I would love for it to come out tomorrow.
I feel like we would have known if it was coming out tomorrow.
I would love for it to come out tomorrow, but I know that no.
There is no release date.
No, because honestly, like this is gonna be my new favorite Spider-Man trilogy. This is my favorite Spider-Man movies, just because I love Toby. Toby, you were the first one. I saw you when I was 5 years old in theaters. But what you call it? But I just don't like your relationship with Kristen Dunst's MJ. I never believed in it.
So it was supposed to come out March 29th of this year, 2024, but because of the actor strikes and the writer strikes, it became indefinitely delayed, which is never a good thing.
That's not a good thing.
They're working on it.
Actually, a moment of mine that I loved from the movie was when...
there is no release date.
And also the movie has just a lot of moments I love. Like, I love when Miles in his Spider-Man costume is talking to his dad, and then like his dad is just venting to Spider-Man and telling him, "Yeah, my kid, he get on my damn nerves." And then Miles just says, he's like, "Maybe you gotta get off his head." Like he about to say the cuss word, but he don't.
Yep.
He says it, but he doesn't say it. That's what I love about it.
The reason why I brought up Spidey was because they didn't know how to finish that film, and so Chris Lord and Philip Miller. Right? Those are the creators and
they
directors. They didn't know
how to finish it?
Yeah, they didn't know how to finish that story, and so they looked at episode 5, and they got the inspiration there. Instead of having it end indefinitely with Miles losing, there's that extra piece where Gwen gets the old team back together again. Right?
Yes.
And that's kind of what happens at the end of episode 5.
Oh, by the way, I don't want Gwen and Miles to get together. She lost it.
I don't know what the hell they're thinking there. It's also weird that she was Parker's girl and now she's Miles' girl.
Well, no, first of all, in that universe, they were just friends. He had a crush on her, but he didn't do nothing about it, and he died.
Yeah. The first one bummed me out when our Spider-Man died. That really made me upset.
He had to go.
In order for that story to work.
He had to go. Peter had to go. But we had another Peter in the story. I don't know. To me, if you had me in charge, Miles would have been the only Spider-Man ever.
They didn't make Miles until years after the... I don't even think Jack Kirby had anything to do with him.
No, I know that, but you Marvel fans don't deserve anything good.
So tell me how you feel about Robert Downey Jr. returning to the MCU.
Next question.
Nice.
No, but I love Doctor Doom, but just don't mess it up, man.
Dude.
This is our third time with the Fantastic Four characters. I don't need no more stress.
This is our third time with Doom, and somebody pointed this out. It was a fan of my podcast. It's a weekly podcast, Coffee Break, where we talk about the news and the week, movie, TV news, and we do some reviews. We talk about the box office, And so the MCU being at Comic-Con was a big thing for us.
Yes.
Right? And him returning to play Doctor Doom. Here's what someone pointed out to me was this won't be the fight between Reed Richards and Doctor Doom. It's going to be between Peter Parker and Doctor Doom, because when he sees who Doctor Doom is, Tony, right? He's going to see Tony Stark instead of Victor Von Doom. He's going to feel like they're friends still, but Doom is the bad guy. So now the whole point of the story will be Spidey trying to beat Doctor Doom.
I don't like this anymore. I didn't realize that. Oh, wow.
And then there's a new rumor.
But what if he never takes off the mask? How about that?
He has to.
You ain't gonna take off the mask. Don't take off the mask.
Dude, so the directors, the Russo brothers, are making $80 million to direct these next 2 movies.
Props to them.
Plus...
Good job.
Plus, if the movie does exceptionally well, which it will, right? They'll get incentives, like bonus incentives and stuff like that, right?
That's why I'm excited for these next 2 Avengers movies, because Infinity War... I like Infinity War more than Endgame, if you guys were curious, but Infinity War and Endgame as a 2-parter, I can watch that all day. So
they're both really good.
They're gonna kill it with these next 2.
But then Robert Downey, he's making so much more money, they didn't even disclose what that number was.
Dang.
Just for him to play in the first Avengers, and I think Age of Ultron, each movie he made $50 million.
That's insane.
So in a 3-year span, he made... That's not even counting Iron Man 3. I think he also made $50 million. So I think in a 3-year span, he made $150 million just playing this character. And to think most of his shots are literally the close-ups of his face because he's inside his suit. But he's not actually walking around in that suit.
But everybody loves him as Iron Man. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Anyways, we can talk about the MCU all day. Back to Star Wars. My top one is... Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. It never got cooler than that except for the Acolyte and Obi-Wan Kenobi show. My second favorite has to be Episode 1.
Okay.
And my third favorite is The Return of the Jedi.
Ooh, okay, that's not usually what I hear from everybody's top 3, but okay, I like that.
Return of the Jedi is nothing like the trash that it was following.
Why are you saying that? Most people don't even agree with you on that.
Well, they don't have a podcast, do they?
That's true.
No, it's just my honest opinion here, and I'm usually right. The thing is, I like episode...
I was like, wait a minute. That don't even sound right, but okay, go on.
It's when you double down way too hard knowing that you're going to have to fight everybody.
Oh, goodness. The comment section is going to be good on this one.
Oh, yeah. No, 6 is just awesome. It concludes everything. The Emperor's dead. Anakin died. Luke goes on to live his life. Han and Leia win. Everybody's happy. Ewoks. Who doesn't love Ewoks?
I was watching with my cousin Jojo. Jojo made me hate the Ewoks because he loves watching movies that are so bad they're good, and he's like, this is a movie that's so bad it's good. Because
you know what? Yeah, I can say that.
Because like we said, with all the Ewok moments, he's like, look at that, look at him hitting, look at the Ewok hitting the stormtrooper.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, why'd you ruin it for me, Jojo?
Whenever the stormtroopers are getting attacked by them, like when they're throwing rocks and they start falling down the hill.
These were supposed to be advanced military grade troopers.
Dude.
Taken out by teddy bears.
Yeah, teddy bears. Savage teddy bears destroyed that army. My least favorite, it's episode 9.
Okay, I agree. That is the worst.
And I would say that I think everyone's least favorite is episode 9.
Actually, I would say this: the sequel trilogy had no right to be as bad as it was.
It had no right to be.
That too, but also like, cause like for 10 years, especially like, nobody went on YouTube and checked out anything, cause there were so many videos back in the day about why the prequels suck.
Yes, do you remember that?
Yeah, like Red Letter Media was the one that led the charge on that. Cause you remember those like 1.5 hour reviews of each movies? Yeah, that was insane. And then people just kept going on and on with it. And it's like, you guys could have, and people had really, and some people did have good suggestions in it, but I'm just like, nobody from the company checked this out. Like, I think Force Awakens is a solid film.
It's a good Star Wars film.
It's a good Star Wars film, but like that's the one that's allowed to come over. But Last Jedi we don't speak to. You know, if this was family, we don't speak to Last Jedi. Rise of Skywalker's dead. And Solo we try to forget.
Oh my god, I always forget about
Solo, but Emilia Clarke, she was good in that. I'll say this, like, so Han, you should have gone for her.
That was his wife.
It would have been less trouble for him.
Oh. Yeah, well, he's a rebellious guy.
Yeah, what was her name? Kira? I think Kira in the film? Yeah, Kira over Leia.
Well, yeah, Leia's not that great.
She was good in A New Hope, but she easily became like a damsel in distress in the next 2.
She's always cranky with Han, to the point where it's just annoying. This is what we were talking about before we started recording. The Arrowverse, back to the Flash, talking about what to do with your female characters when you have an eccentric male character.
Yes.
Don't make them as annoying as Iris is.
Yes.
Make them powerful. Make them have their own stance that they can stand their own ground so that they be a power couple instead of trying to rip them apart. A great portrayal of that would be Skylar White from Breaking Bad. Anne Gunn played that character so well that she pissed me off and I stopped watching the show for about 2 months. She played the character so well that she was getting death threats.
I didn't know that, dang.
Yeah, because she's the opposite of Walter White, right? Who's now a drug dealer kingpin. And she's like, no, you were a science guy, science teacher, we have a kid, you need to knock all this off, this is wrong, this isn't you. And she has to be that stronger person to stand up against him. It works out quite well. And Leia should have been something like that, especially if she's going to be, well, she's a princess, and then she becomes general.
She didn't have a planet no more. You get demoted.
Okay.
You gotta start from the bottom and go become a general.
Technically, Luke and Leia are from a moon.
This is true also.
Yes. People often forget that they were born in a totally different place that probably doesn't even have a name.
But dang it, Bail Organa paid for those papers to adopt her. So let it be. She a princess.
Bail? Didn't know that was his first name for a long time. That's a terrible name. Just like Shmi.
Yeah. Shmi Skywalker.
It's just, what the hell? But then we got Uncle Ben. You're like, what? Why? It doesn't make sense to me.
And then I forget, were we talking about Star Wars or Spider-Man? See, that's another problem too.
What do you mean?
Like you said Uncle Ben.
Oh,
Yeah, see,
Oh, yeah.
see, get it?
Yeah.
Because you're thinking two characters, but...
Yeah, once you said the other... Because I'm in Star Wars right now.
Technically, we can think of three things because of the rice.
Have you seen the pictures of people dressed as Spider-Man crying over the rice box?
Oh, no.
There's a whole bunch of pictures on the internet about this, where they're just in the rice aisle, on the floor, crying, because holding a box of Uncle Ben's rice.
That's classic. I like that. Internet, you guys did a good job. That makes me smile thinking about it.
Yeah, so naming conventions in Star Wars are awful. They can be cool and simple, like Kylo Ren. What does it really mean?
And originally it was going to be pronounced Kilo.
Oh.
No, but I like Kylo more.
Yeah, kilo. No,
don't do that.
And this is pound, and this is ton. And, anyways, you ready to do the Acolyte?
Oh yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Acolyte. How should I start this?
We're gonna do spoilers because it's been out long enough.
It's been about a month and a half now.
Yes.
The Acolyte. Okay. Like I said, it didn't deserve its hate that it got. It wasn't Last Jedi levels. And see, this is where we're gonna have a divide. I think it was way better than Obi-Wan and Ahsoka.
Okay. Ahsoka is really tough to get through.
Ahsoka, no, here's the problem with Ahsoka. It touches too much of the shows that came before.
Yeah, you need to know Rebels, which I did not.
And here's the thing, and then the stuff you need to know about Rebels is like sprinkled throughout.
Mm-hmm.
And most of Rebels ain't that good. Well, here's the thing, I'm okay with it now. Okay, when Rebels first came out, I was like a loyal friend to Clone Wars because Clone Wars had to die for Rebels to come.
Yeah.
So I said, I ain't messing with you. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me when it came to Rebels. But then after Season 7 came out, I was like, okay, I'm going to stop being so tough on you. I'm going to watch it now.
Season 7 of Clone Wars.
After Season 7 Clone Wars came out, yeah.
You looked back more fondly at
Rebels.
Yes. Yeah, and that's how I feel with Episode 8. It's not great, but after the atrocities that 9 committed, I look at 8 and go, okay, it's just a unique direction, you know?
Correct.
Except for that side plot between Finn and Rose, where they save the horses, and it goes nowhere.
It really does. Nowhere at all.
It's 30 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
Well, even then, even when they continue to go on, like when they go back onto the, you know, what's it called, Star Destroyer, like when they get that far into it.
Yeah, where Rey and Kylo are fighting.
Yeah, and then then they don't even help him out.
No.
So it's like you just wasted our whole time.
That film sometimes, especially with the Rebels, feels all over the place.
But everything on the island is amazing with Luke and Rey.
Yeah.
Actually, I think what would have been a bold choice was just to keep her on the island
And not
the whole
have her
movie.
come to that planet.
Yeah, just the whole movie training. We just getting our mind right. We focusing. We're getting in touch with the Force.
I was reading something where they called her Jedi Knight Rey Skywalker, and I don't know, that kind of triggered me a little bit because I was like, you're not a Jedi and you're not a Skywalker. I don't care if you just claim to be one, you're still not a Skywalker. You're a Palpatine.
And that's sad that at least she good. But yeah, like Palpatine kind of outlived everybody.
Terrible writing. It was supposed to be something totally different. We'll have to do a whole episode about...
on the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
I don't like the sequel trilogy, but for this podcast, I will do it. So that's why I'll say, please donate $1.99 for my suffering. Thank you.
The Acolyte was awesome. I loved it.
I'll say this. I might like it more than The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian Season 1 is fantastic.
Oh, it is. And Season 2, it just had too many of the cameos. Because it's like, that's not what Season 1 was. Because, like, that's my problem with these films. Like, especially with Dave Filoni. Because he wants to connect everything together.
Yep.
But it's like, no, you gotta space all this stuff out. Like, The Mandalorian, like, you conceptually, I don't like it because of Grogu.
You mean what? He's like $100 million worth in merchandise right now?
You know what? We ain't gonna do that. We don't need to. Star Wars doesn't need to do that.
Well, he's the baby. He's Baby Yoda. I love it when people call him Baby Yoda around me because it tells me you're not a fan and you didn't pay attention to the source material. You just see a little tiny green thing that represents Yoda, but it's not. He's not. All we know is he's the same species. That's all we know about Grogu. Okay. You got me kind of upset with Grogu. The problem with Season 2 was they were supposed to kill off Mando. And Luke was supposed to take Grogu and raise him.
I didn't know is that a confirmed thing?
Yes.
That would have been kind of hard.
Well, yeah, it was only supposed to be 2 seasons.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. And then because everybody loved the baby and Mando, right? Because this is when Pedro Pascal started taking off, when we're still currently in the heights of his career because he's going to play Reed Richardson.
Correct.
They decided to make that third season. It took them a little bit of time because they had to rework and figure out how to write it. And even in the third season, you start to see a splintering where Mando is no longer the Mandalorian. It's the Bo-Katan.
But I feel like that I hear this a lot, where people say Bo-Katan kind of overtook the show. I feel like it was kind of half and half of both of them.
Yes, because they're trying to set up the idea that Mandalorian season 4 is about Bo-Katan with the Darksaber.
Ooh,
And
I would just name it something else.
Too late. It's
Dang.
Disney. They're gonna make more money if they keep it as Mando, or the Mandalorian, than being like Bo-Katan with the Darksaber.
I know everybody didn't like season 3 of The Mandalorian.
So we leave our characters off, and then now they're talking about a movie, Mandalorian, The Mandalorian and Grogu, which comes out in 2026.
Yes.
They're currently filming it, I think. Back to the Acolyte.
Wait. I said, see, I know everyone didn't like season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Yes. Oh, dude, there's terrible moments. And again...
I liked it, though.
But
I like seeing Jack Black and Lizzo there. Look,
so...
they can come hang out. I like knowing... And then, like, also in that same episode where it's that planet of theirs, I like that one dude that was like, Count Dooku... That old dude was like, Count Dooku was like a mastermind in politics or something along those lines. Because it was the Christopher Lloyd character. Do you remember this?
Yes, I watched it one time when it came out.
I laughed so hard because he was like, he was like that old man going like, oh, I want my galaxy back.
Yeah.
And I am a separatist sympathizer. I don't believe in all the killing that they did. I don't believe, but I do believe like the Acolyte kind of showed. No, what? Actually, that's one thing the Acolyte did not show. That's what I mean. They didn't really show that like people outside of the center of the galaxy had a raw deal.
Yeah. How they all kind of got screwed over if they're in the Outer Rim.
Yeah, because like if you live on the Outer Rim, you paying all these taxes.
Mm-hmm.
If we ain't getting no protection, you ain't helping me out.
Yep.
I'll be pissed too.
A lot of them turned to mercenaries.
And the fact that the galaxy, the Republic was like, no, you guys got to stay with us. No. In fact, actually, that's what I love about during Dark Horse's run on Star Wars comic books, they had a series called Star Wars Legacy, which took place 150 years after Return of the Jedi. And this was like back in the day, so it wasn't connected to the Disney Star Wars at all. And it showed...
So this is non-canon.
This is non-canon now, but I love the story.
Okay.
And I loved how it ended it. They basically... The Empire became a good empire. That's all you need to know for this. I would love to go into the details of it. But basically, there was 3 different governments. So there was the Republic... Mm-hmm. The Good Empire, and I forget the third one, but it was kind of like, you know, you guys have your run on things. And I'm like, that's kind of what the galaxy needs to do is divide. They were called the Triumvirate. So there were three governments that were okay with just helping out one another when they can.
Okay.
And that's what Star Wars needs to do.
Well, we'll see. There are rumors that they are making episode 10. You know that, right?
I did not know this.
It's called A New Beginning.
I don't like that.
It's like any other title.
I did not know. I really did not know that until just now.
Yeah. It's actually Rey's movie. You know Rey's coming back.
I thought Rey was just having her own little spin-off thing.
Yeah, they're hiding it like that because it actually is episode 10.
Is it episode 10?
Yeah.
So wait, when I go to the theaters, it's gonna start with the that's the Fox logo thing.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think it's gonna have Fox's logo on it.
You got to put the see. That's what the sequel trilogy needs. It needed that because you need the Fox fanfare.
Yeah.
And then you need that little silence. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, and then boom. God, that was
I did not know. I can't believe this. Episode 10's coming out.
So if it goes wrong, because what they've done here, Disney can back out of that episode 10 thing. So it could just still be a Rey spinoff, but right now they are currently treating it as episode 10.
If we go into episode 10...
That means there's another trilogy.
And what only...
A sequel trilogy.
You guys have to bring in the Yuzhen Vong. That's all I'm going to say. My favorite book series, New Jedi Order, from back in the day. Non-canon now.
When Disney bought it, a lot of things got thrown away. A lot of that...
Unfortunately.
Book, video games. I think the holiday special's canon, isn't it?
They're trying to make it canon. Actually, that's why I'm excited for Skeleton Crew. And actually, I want us to like review each episode weekly if we can, so we can plan for it because it's coming out in December. And one of the episodes they said is going to be about
the
Life Day.
Wow.
That's what the holiday's called, Life Day.
Okay.
Which it looks like it's going to be adorable, but then they said that it's going to be a part of the Mandalorian thing.
That makes sense. I heard it was going to be a segue into the High Republic. Or what is it called?
No, because High Republic is 100 years before Episode 1.
Yeah, I got that title wrong. They wanted to do this one with Gina Carrillo's character.
Yeah, that's why Gina Carano.
Carano, sorry.
No, I know who you're talking about. Because that's actually why we got that weird episode in Season 3 of Mandalorian where we followed the New Republic people.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
I like that episode. That was a good episode. To me, like, that was them repurposing because it was going to be on a show called The Republic Rangers or something like that.
Yeah, Rangers of the Republic.
There we go. That's actually the proper title. But I actually also like to think that they took notes from Andor and was like, yeah, I'm putting this down. Andor is a perfect example of execution wins the show.
Okay.
Because it's a show that we already know the ending to.
Yep.
It's got a lot of characters that we know their fates, but it's just masterful.
Is it masterful to watch a bunch of terrorists get killed? Probably.
We ain't gonna get into that. The galaxy needed us to do this.
So, The Acolyte. The Acolyte takes place 100 years before the events of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. It begins on a distant forest planet. I can't remember the name of it.
I forgot the name of it too.
But this is where a coven of witches are hiding from the Jedi because they're Force users.
Oh, wasn't it Kofar? I'm sorry.
Could be. And they are actually discovered by the Jedi because there's a squad of Jedi on the planet who are checking a convergence where the Force just kind of manifested. It's like a magnet for Force users.
Yes.
And it heightens their powers, which allowed these witches to create human life, in which they created twins. But the twins are actually one.
Which I'm still trying to figure out.
I know, it's a weird thing. They're yin and yang.
That was voodoo. Yeah, that's how scared I am.
So, one witch impregnated another witch with the Force. And so it's implied. Which a lot of these questions start to arise about Skywalker. How did Shmi become pregnant with Anakin? And she just says that there was no father, it's just one day it happened. And you're like, was she part of this witch's coven? Did somebody...
Oh, I never even thought about that.
There's an old theory that because of this, they brought it back, was that Palpatine did this?
Yes, I think one of the books, I remember reading as a kid, I loved it a lot, Darth Plagueis.
Yeah.
That's what it was called. I think there was
he's the one who did it?
Yeah, they might have done it together.
Yeah, then that would make sense, because that's his master.
But yeah, it just randomly went into someone that was on a slave on Tatooine.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, that's just... It's very poetic.
It is. Well, they needed him to be hardened before he begins his Jedi training.
Correct.
You know, Anakin had a really tough childhood. And then...
Got beat up by Greedo every single day.
Yeah.
Greedo never left him alone. Greedo used to make fun of him about being free.
Yeah, and then becoming a young adult as a Jedi Knight, fighting in an intergalactic war, you know, forbidden love and all that. He has to be really hardened. And
he was doomed from the start.
Yeah, I mean, from the get-go. He didn't even have a dad.
Yeah, exactly, because, like, the Jedi Order didn't do anything right. Like, okay, first of all, if you're going to take this kid and he's your chosen one, you gotta free the mom. That was no question asked. You gotta free Mama.
Well, that's an interesting thing. If the characters of the Acolyte were in the place of Qui-Gon Jinn, they would have freed the mom.
Yes!
But Qui-Gon decided to play it safe there, which I'm like, that's so, like, almost anti-Qui-Gon from the way I know him and the way that Dooku talks about him in hindsight in Episode 2. He is a rebellious guy himself. He even argues with the Jedi Council about Anakin. You remember? They're like, he's too old, you can't have him. And he's like, no, screw you. I'm going to keep training him anyways.
Yes, Obi-Wan's old enough to do the, trials.
He's like, I'm done with my old kid. I want the new kid.
Exactly. And he's the chosen one.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
But then, of course, Qui-Gon dies. And then, I mean, that only just screws up Anakin's life more. The only person in the galaxy who wanted him died. So the Acolyte, the people on the planet, the Jedi, Soul.
Yes.
Turban.
Kelnacca, which he's actually an ancestor of mine.
Another Kelnacca. And then...
And Dara.
Andara?
Yeah,
Andara.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also known as Trinity from Matrix.
Yeah, I had to look that up. And I was like, oh, that is Trinity. I thought she looked familiar.
Yeah, she still look good after all these years.
So they end up finding the twins, and then they kind of hostilely go into their space to invade them.
They really did.
All the witches were doing was trying to basically initiate them as part of their cult, so to speak. And because of that, it kind of bleeds out into this thing where May and Osha are the twins. May is angry and almost reckless, right? While Osha doesn't really want to be around May. She wants to be her own person. She wants to go off and explore.
And if y'all got kids out there, that's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with your kid wanting to have their own independence.
Yep. And this pisses off May to the point where she starts a fire, and the Jedi have to come back and save her, and they're too late to save May. And really, it's Soul who did this, right? And then we begin our story, where someone who looks like Osha is killing Jedi.
Correct.
Which is her twin sister, May.
Well, technically, she only killed one Jedi.
Yeah. Going back and watching that, so she does kill Endara.
Which, that was a good fight, but I would have liked it had, like, you weren't, so willing to go into the bar. Like, I wish, like, Endara would have been walking out, and then, like, she was by herself, isolated, and then you attack her.
They did it for having the set piece.
I know.
And the only reason May won that fight was because she tried to kill an innocent civilian. Because she distracted her with that, right?
Correct.
And then she stabbed her with a knife. Torben kills himself because he's just a weak piece of shit.
He really was. It's actually really sad. I was like, dang, you just gonna...
For like, what, 20
no
years?
No fight back? But that was
8 years. He's never talked to anyone since.
Yeah, you were levitating for that long. I actually kind of respect that.
That's just insane, dude.
But here's the thing. I feel like also, I know a lot of people were joking about that. But I'm like, no, that was kind of cool. But also, I kind of think, like, had these shows came out 15 years earlier, Acolyte would have been loved by everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like just because, like, we waited so long for a lot of these Star Wars shows, the love ain't there no more. People just kind of went, oh, it ain't happening. But now that it's happening, people are so cynical about it.
It's always going to happen when new things come out. When the new Justice League movie eventually shows up in, like, 2028 or whatever, there are going to be people who are like, this isn't my Justice League. You're always going to have that. And then, like, 2 years later, they'll be like, yeah, it's good. And it's just the way the public typically responds to things.
Fandom.
Yeah, the fandom is another important aspect of it. The only reason why Deadpool and Wolverine is the highest grossing rated R film right now, it finally broke the record, is because you got Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, who's been working really hard on this character to the point where he is the character. And you got Hugh Jackman returning as Wolverine after playing Wolverine for 10 years?
Yes.
A little over 10 years? That's all you needed. You didn't need all those other characters to be in there.
Wait, did you say Hugh Jackman playing the role for over 10 years?
Yeah.
No, over 20 at this point.
He's been playing it for 24 years.
Yes.
My bad.
It's
over 10.
Well, still, honestly, I rewatched X1 and X2, and honestly, like, it's a little jarring, just a little bit with him. Like, I'm saying, like, in terms of his acting performance, those two were his weakest.
Well, yeah, he had a lot of self-doubt.
And just also because, like, he really going hard at trying to get with Jean Grey, but it's like, dude, you just got to this house. You're being so disrespectful.
I don't like that he's the centerpiece of the X-Men movies. It should have been Scott.
It really should have been.
And Wolverine could have just been a side character showing up every now and then. He could have just had his own movies. He would have done just fine. Like a classic is X-Men Origins Wolverine. People love that one.
Oh, goodness. He said it with a straight face. That's why it confused me for a second. I was all discombobulated.
It's terrible. It's probably one of the worst films ever made. It's not even, like, funny at how bad it is. It's just bad. It's offensive.
Some people find it to be it's so bad it's good.
No, there's no...
But no, it's not.
No.
Because it's really trying to be a serious blockbuster.
It really was. My favorite scene from that movie is Deadpool 2.
Oh, yes. Actually, I would love it up to the point in X-Men Origins when they link up, like Deadpool 2, when it uses the footage from X-Men Origins.
Yeah.
I would love if all new copies of X-Men Origins just had that
in.
And that's how the movie ends. Deadpool just killing the old Deadpool.
Yep. That would actually... God, you would be more excited about the ending. Just to know that this is how it ends.
Just because it's so random and weird.
Yep.
I would love that. But wait, okay, with the Acolyte, we were going into about
There's a Jedi killer.
Yes, and Indara, that first episode, I was like, dang, that quick? You're going to be gone that quick?
They think it's Osha, because they believe May is dead at this point. So they go off to arrest May. It was Yord, a Jedi Knight.
Yes, with a yellow lightsaber.
Yep, fan favorite. You can buy that lightsaber at the stores now.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to find it.
Also, the coolest thing, the dark saber, which you'll find next to it, has a picture of Mando and Bo-Katan both wielding one.
I love it. I ship it.
And then if you want to buy the blue lightsaber, you get Souls. Which I was like, okay, I guess.
Man, but my whole thing about Soul is just that after rewatching everything and then going back a second time, I can't root for this person no more.
So Soul is pretty much the old master of Osha before she gave up on her Jedi training. Soul has a new Jedi, Padawan, Jackie.
Yes.
And Jackie, Soul, and Yord go off with Osha to find and see if May is still alive. And they're trying to track her down, which they end up running into a stranger known as Quamir.
Yes.
Quamir is a fast-talking, slummy kind of guy. He's up to no good, you can tell.
He really was.
When he was talking to Osha and realized it was Osha, and he changed his tone with her.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he's going to be upset, and then Soul comes in, and he goes, "Who is he?" to Quamir. Quamir goes, "I thought he was with you." He switched the conversation because he points at Yord behind him.
Right.
So he's constantly deflecting. Soul never realizes this, that actually Quamir is the bad guy of the entire thing. Well, kinda. He's the Sith Lord they're after. They just didn't know that it existed. And the reason why Soul was not able to pay attention to that, because he was so invested with Osha and May.
Yes.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Yes.
That's how I interpreted what happened there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Because for those girls, he was willing, especially for Osha, he was willing to go, cross the mountains.
Yeah.
Destroy everything for.
Yeah. I mean, he climbs up that mountain twice in one day.
Literally.
I was like, that can't be easy, man.
Yeah, they got through a lot in that first episode, actually. He finds her, and then, he tells her, come back with us.
Yep.
We're gonna get this all straightened out.
Yep. And then
just like a good dad should.
Episode 3 is the drawing one, which is about the witches. And because a female witch impregnated another female witch, a lot of sexism kind of came out about it, about lesbians. That is not what's happening there. I'm going to be very firm that cool if you want to think that way, but that's not really what's happening. They are co-parenting, that for sure.
Yes, that is the only definite effect that we had.
But other than that, I don't even know if there is real love between them. I think it was just more of like, this is what we're doing to keep ourselves alive.
Well, the way that the one that was, I forget, the more alien looking lady.
Yes, their mother.
Yeah, the actual one that carried them in the womb, she, didn't she touch her in the face, like, lovingly, like, all like that?
Yeah.
On the chin?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so, like, I feel like there was more love with her, but the more dominant, like, the chiefin.
Yes.
What's her name? What's the proper name? Well, whoever that mother, like, I feel like she would take more of the...
Mother Anissa?
Mother...
Anissa?
Anise? I thought it was Anise.
Anise? Okay.
Okay, Mother Anise, like, she... I kind of agree with you there that she probably didn't love her as much.
No. She loved the kids, but that was her whole thing. She was
this
just
is
there
sad.
to
This is a
protect
broken family.
Yeah. Look at Anakin.
These children were doomed from the start.
Look at Ben Solo.
Wait a minute, so you're kind of going for like a Frankenstein type of thing where it's like you're kind of going above the power of the Almighty.
Yeah.
I didn't see that until now. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, no, literally, Anakin and Osha and May should not exist at all. They're just spontaneous creations.
Which is kind of scary. I hope...
That's why all three of these characters are stupidly good with the Force.
See, and I don't want them in the next season to, like, directly explain, because I kind of like just having this... It's like a horror movie type of thing where you don't want it to be explained to you.
Yeah, you don't
how
really...
this is going on.
You don't want to understand too much about it, because it would lose its allure in magic.
Yeah, that's, like, why people get upset about, like what they're like, oh, in the prequel trilogy... We were told, like George Lucas said something about we're gonna learn how to be a Force ghost.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't see it, but, we know that it's possible.
Well, we do eventually see it. Was that episode 5? Yeah, when he sees Ben.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, like, in the prequels when because, like, one particular promise back in the day was that he said you're going to see, like, the training for it. To become...
You're talking about Obi-Wan from
Obi-Wan's
Yoda.
training. Yeah, Obi-Wan's training. My bad.
So that he can talk to...
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon. Do you know why why they didn't show off Qui-Gon as a Force ghost?
I believe it was because the Clone Wars talked about this in season 6. Is because, and Qui-Gon actually tells Yoda this, because this is where Yoda learns how to become a Force ghost. Qui-Gon tells Yoda that, like, I was halfway through my training, but I can only, you can only hear my voice. I wasn't all the way done.
Okay.
That's the last 3 episodes of season 6 for Clone Wars.
I was gonna say about the actual filming of that day.
Oh, never mind.
No, it's interesting they made up an excuse for it. What happened was Liam Neeson was supposed to show up on set, but he got into a pretty bad motorcycle accident, and so they just kind of left it like that instead of having him come in.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a very much more simpler answer,
but see, that's kind of a common thing with Star Wars where
they will come back to explain why certain things were done the way they were.
Yeah.
Without really explaining what actually happened.
Exactly, or it's just something simple like that, like he said.
Yeah.
No, Duke couldn't show up.
Yeah.
I love that, and it's a repeating thing with Star Wars. Like, for example, I know George Lucas, going back to the Cantina, he wrote a lot of biographies for the people in the Cantina.
Yes.
So there's stories of why they're there.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. Very Lord of the Rings-esque, like Tolkien-esque, about just making your world feel alive.
Yeah, fleshing it out.
Yeah, I think that's where Star Wars kind of stands, like, beyond other things. Because DC and Marvel have a hard time doing that.
Well, they've been around for 70 years.
And people only care about the heroes, which,
That's not true.
I'm not mad at you.
There's a movie called Joker. There's a movie called Craven coming out this year.
Okay, correction. We only care about the heroes and villains. If you're just a side character, we don't care about you that much.
Dude, no one gives a fuck about Jimmy Olsen.
I do.
No, you don't.
Every now and then.
No, you don't.
Every now and then. I care about Alfred Pennyworth. Yes, I do. I watched all 10 seasons of his show, Pennyworth.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Wow. I didn't even go that far.
I respect I respect butlers because I was gonna be one.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna move on.
But then I found out the pay wasn't even that good. I was like, dang. I was like, at least you should get double. Okay, but I was like,
so moving on to the Acolyte. They go to a forest to find Kelnacca, right? And when they get there, they find out that Kelnacca has been killed.
Which really pissed me off.
Do you know that there was supposed to be a fight?
Oh, was there supposed to be a fight between
May and Kelnacca?
That would have been epic.
Here's the thing: they ran out of time, and it was too expensive. Also,
I don't think it would have. Like, realistically looking on the screen, it probably wouldn't look convincing.
No. And the other thing is that
Kelnacca, I'm sorry about that, but Kelnacca was just like a powerhouse.
Yeah, he's a Wookiee Jedi.
He's an angry, ambitious.
He's gonna kill Torben and
got the Force on his side. Yes, he just strong. He got that Wookiee energy.
Yeah,
that's why I'm so happy to be a descendant of him. Cross species. It was my great grandmother was a human woman, but we ain't gonna get into all that.
There's a whole backstory. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna slowly flesh that out as we keep going.
Go watch Kelnacca, KalRizzian to get the rest. We're gonna spell it out at the end of the show.
Yeah, don't worry. All the links will be in the bio. So the one thing that I can't conceptualize is that this little girl May fighting that Wookiee. A Jedi Wookiee. That's insane. She has no weapons but these tiny daggers.
Actually, that's true. Yeah, she don't got a lightsaber. Okay, maybe I'm starting because that was my least favorite thing about the show. But now you're turning me on to okay, maybe we shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, and like of course, the stranger Quamir had to come in and kill him.
But they should at least dedicated one episode of Kelnacca just out there in the woods. I would have loved that.
Yeah, he's barely in that show.
Yeah, I think sad.
Besides the fight against his own friends, the most screen time he had was him sitting there working on that speedster,
which didn't even last that long.
No.
He really was.
He was shafted hard.
He was a glorified background character.
Yes, he was. So then after that, the Jedi are kind of freaked out.
Oh yeah, because a whole squad of Jedi come to go, you know, meet up with Kelnacca. Actually, that's one thing that the show should have done. They should have fleshed out the other Jedi that were with them.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter.
No, but you know, if someone dies, you want to get to know them a little bit. That way, it's more sad.
Okay, so let's hold on. We're gonna get to it because
exactly. Because like it's like okay, random Jedi that looks like Plo Koon. I would like to get to know him.
Are you talking about the guy with the giant forehead?
No, that's Kidai.
Yeah, okay.
Which everybody was so mad. I like seeing Kidai Monday. Me and him go back. I remember hearing some story about how he had like 7 wives. Cause like his species, like this was an old story in the expanded universe about how like his species was about to go extinct. So the Jedi Council allowed him to have 7 wives, and he had all these kids. And like there was like a thought bubble because it was a comic book where he said, "I love my children, but on the other hand, I could be okay with them dying." I'm like, you a psychopath.
Okay, wow.
Like he's like, if someone came and killed all 7 of my kids and 7 wives, I'm okay with them dying. I'm like, okay, you.
What a weird
you out of
thing
it.
to write.
Actually, I don't think it was even 7 kids. I think he had more than that. Like I think it was close to 20.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so
catching up to Genghis Khan.
Yeah, he really going at it. How are you disconnect? How and he's a high-ranking Jedi Master.
Especially for him to just give up and die like that in that battle.
Actually, yeah, that's actually why that story doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because.
Well, did he really get? Well, you talking about Order 66?
Yeah.
Okay, well. He tried.
No, he didn't. He just turned around and went, "Oh, sad face," and then they shot him up.
Y'all betrayed me. Okay, what was he gonna do? No, he was with those Marines.
Dude, he still is a Jedi with a lightsaber.
We gonna go back into we gonna talk about Order 66 in full.
Yes, we're gonna have
that's got to be an episode.
I think it's just gonna be an episode of Clone Wars, because that is the end of the Clone Wars. Which means, yeah, I have to go back and rewatch some of the show because I didn't finish it.
I can make you a list.
Yeah, I would like that. Just a quick run.
Like I'll give you a list for like episodes you should watch from season 1, season 2.
It's just a list of season 1 through 7.
No, I promise it won't be that way.
You start mailing me box sets.
There you go. I'm glad I helped.
I can stream this.
But I always like physical media more.
Yo, so you're a physical media guy?
Yes, I am.
Here's a question for you, just a little tangent. Do you have a disc player at your house?
Yes, I do.
Really?
A Blu-ray disc.
And it's a separate thing?
Yeah.
Okay. And is it a 4K?
No.
It's just an old Blu-ray player.
Just an old Blu-ray player. I don't need 4K.
Well, they don't really make Blu-rays anymore. They make 4K.
But no. They still got both.
Yeah, but eventually the Blu-ray is going to go the way of the dodo. And the 4K is going to stick around, and they're going to become more and more expensive.
That's why I got 2 separate Blu-rays.
What does that mean?
I got one that I'm using now, and in case that breaks, I got another one.
Okay, yeah. No, you should always have a disc reader. I only have one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's my PS5.
Correct. And actually, wait, and I don't even use... But here's the thing. I know this might sound weird, but I don't use... Like, unless we're, like, at the... My cousin's house doesn't have any Wi-Fi, and I go there a lot. So I bring my Blu-ray player there every now and then. But if I'm able to bring internet connection, I do. I still use the internet for everything.
Yes.
So I stream. I'd rather stream first, but if that's not available, that's when I like to bring out the Blu-rays.
Yeah, the last time I had to watch a movie on a physical disc was, I think, last Halloween. The power went out. It was around Halloween Town, sorry. And I said Halloween Town.
No, I know. I wanted to say something about it.
We're almost there. It's almost that time of the year. You see, I got my fall decorations out.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm already ready. Anyways, I put on a DVD version of, oh my god, what's it called? The classic Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
The DVD. The coloration and the saturation that's going on there is totally different than the one that you're going to watch on Disney Plus.
Right.
In fact, it looks more scary and terrifying because when Disney remastered it, they turned it blue.
Correct.
The original was like a yellow hue.
Correct.
It's kind of interesting. That will be eventually lost. You know that, right?
And that's sad.
And then people will only know. In fact, there's probably an entire generation of kids already who only know Nightmare as this blue kind of color.
A Nightmare Before Christmas is actually one of those things that I respect more than I actively love.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to go against it, right?
Yeah.
It has... It wasn't that successful when it came out.
Like, for example, when I watch it, I skip all the music.
It's a musical.
I know, there's too much music.
I don't even know what you're watching at that point. Just randomly Jack's now in a forest.
Well,
okay.
Well, no, that part I keep. I shouldn't have said that.
You like Jack's Lament?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but also just watching the stop motion. The stop motion is beautiful.
It is. I really like that style.
Yes, but I don't like when they do stop motion with digital.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer it to be, like Rankin Bass, where you have to do it all by hand.
Yeah, I love Rankin Bass.
And also, don't get me started with stuff like a Goofy movie where it was shot on film, like 2D animation shot on film. That's beautiful.
Is that how they did the Goofy movie?
Yeah, it's got that film grain.
I just watched it and I did not.
Wait, did you watch it on streaming?
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh, they took it away.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you can't touch it. You can't touch that up. You messing it up, just like a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Okay, no. We've gone too far.
No, wait, no. I respect it more than I view it, because Snow White has a lot of stuff in it that I don't agree with. I don't agree with, oh, guy you just started singing to, and then he taking you away to his castle at the end, and you're supposed to live happily ever after. No.
It's better than the original ending.
We ain't gonna get into that. The children don't need to know.
They don't. It was horrifying. Most of those fairy tales end up just horrible.
But Disney's first 5, they're beautiful to watch. Like Snow White.
Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty.
No, Cinderella. That's not part of the top. The first 5. It came out in the 50s. We're talking about the ones that came out like in the early 40s. So it's Cinderella. No, sorry, my bad. Snow White. It's Snow White, Pinocchio, Fantasia, Dumbo, and Bambi. Those 5, if you had to preserve something from Disney, those 5 have to be preserved.
No, we could leave Bambi behind.
What are you talking about? Bambi is beautifully drawn.
I can't wait for the new horror remake of it.
Is there really a horror remake of Bambi?
Yeah, it's part of the Pooniverse.
Are you serious?
Yeah. The Pooniverse, if you don't know, is the horror films of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, Bambi, which he's an undead deer now. What else? Tinkerbell is like a drug addict.
Are you serious?
Yeah. They're gonna bring them all together and make a movie where they're all just terrorizing people.
Man, that's sad. Tinkerbell was...
Peter Pan is kidnapping children.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
sure they're gonna go all the way with that one.
Oh, no.
That's where I always thought it kind of was. It's a weird story, dude.
Peter and Wendy's love is... Well, okay, it was kind of weird in the second one when she kissed him.
No, because he never hooks up with Wendy. He hooks up with her daughter. It's even more sick.
Well, no, at the end of the movie... Well, remember at the second one, Peter goes to see Wendy again when she's an adult, and he takes a kiss, and she married.
Oh, wow, Disney.
Yeah, he took a kiss.
That's... okay.
I thought that was really sweet, but not really.
So, this is actually one of the coolest scenes in The Acolyte, is when all the Jedi are turned towards Kelnacca's house, because they want May to come out.
Yes.
Osha's standing behind them. And if you watch behind her, this black figure drops down. It's floating in the air, and it slowly drops down onto the ground.
That's terrifying. That's Exorcist terrifying.
Yes. And then it walks up to her, and then she turns around, and we get a good look at Qumir's helmet. People call him Darth Teeth.
Because that's accurate. I never heard that before, but that's accurate.
If you look at the mouth, he's got some sort of coil thing going on there, where it looks like he has teeth.
Yes.
And he sees that it's Osha. He force-pushed her away, knocking her out, and then he just turns on the Jedi. The Jedi turn to engage in battle, and Quimir uses the force push.
That was a shame. There was 9 of you guys.
The next episode begins with the fight.
Just a bloodbath.
Oh my god. So there's a reason why we shouldn't have developed any of those characters like you wanted.
Oh, no.
Because they just die like that.
No, that would have made it better. You would have been more conflicted. Dang, I knew him.
No, because the way it was shot, we're focusing on Osha getting up off the ground, right?
Right.
That's the beginning of the episode. And in the background, you can see lights flashing, and then you can see him actually fighting the Jedi. And he does that cool move where he impales one, and he force pulls another one.
That was insane.
Yeah.
That was insane. Just thinking about that move. That was like... When I think of creative ways to do lightsaber fights, because it's hard to do it at this point.
Yeah.
But that was creative.
It was awesome. And I just love watching lightsaber fights. If they're going to be that cool, yes. God, he goes up against Yord, where he hits him in the leg. He almost killed him.
Yord was a fighter right there.
Yeah.
Someone this guy named... do you watch Generation Tech on YouTube?
No.
Oh, you should. He made a really good video like a week after that episode came out when Yord met his fate. He made a really good video about like why Yord was cool, and I'm like, yeah, you're right about that. You spend a lot of bars about it, because he said that Yord was somebody that always tried his best.
Yep.
And even when his best was not his best, he still gave some more.
Mm-hmm.
He was a person that built character.
Yeah, you can see that he likes Osha. Yet he's trying to be the Jedi Knight and hold that responsibility. It's when they're talking about Basil, that little tiny rodent humanoid thing that's on the ship, and he like kind of breaks his Jedi character, and he's kind of like more chill to be around.
Yes.
You know, when we see him, actually, yeah, the next time we're introduced to him, he's on Soul's ship. I'm assuming that's Soul's ship. We're on that ship a lot, by the way.
It's a nice design. I like it.
Yeah, it
feels cozy.
You like the set decoration of it?
Yes.
Yeah. I like the angles, just the way the hallways kind of are, and the shape of that room is almost circular, but not.
Yes. Yeah. No.
A little too far.
No. I was paying attention. My bad. I should have just nodded. Yes.
Okay. We see him dry cleaning his clothes with the shirt on.
That was weird. When I first saw that, I thought he was naked because like I was barely watching. And, like, he has, like, that thing where it's like, oh, you know, his nude color is brown. Because he's brown, just like me. Right? I wasn't allowed to wear brown as a kid because it freaked my parents out. Because they thought I was, you know, like, not wearing anything.
If you just lay down in dirt, you disappear.
Yeah, actually, I did it last year to someone we used to work with named Steven, Coach Steven. He thought I was, like, he said I scared him because, like, I was running back inside and I was wearing all brown. He's like, oh. And he's like, I had to give myself a second because he's like, I thought you. He's like, Kelnacca, I thought you was naked.
They call you the brown streak.
Exactly. Actually, that's an old childhood nickname. I'm like, my parents were like, nope, yeah, you can't wear brown ever again. Just because they were like, it makes people too unsettled.
Okay, something I should introduce to this podcast is that I have dogs, and right now, one of them is breathing very heavily.
It's a big dog too, but it's very nice.
It's Barry. His name's Barry. He's a husky. He has 2 different colored eyes. He's about 5 to 6 years old now.
Dang.
Stop. Yeah, he's a cute guy.
A big, proud dog.
Yep. Yeah, so Soul fighting the Jedi. When we get back to the spot where he used the Force push on them,
yes,
you can see where he used the Force push, and you can see the 8 different trails of the Jedi moving.
And that was a nice detail.
How many Jedi were there?
No, I don't know.
9.
Was it 9?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 9.
I could have sworn there were 12.
No, it's not that big.
It wasn't that big?
And it's an uneven number. And one of the Jedi died instantly on impact. That's why there isn't a trail. He's just laying there dead from...
I need to rewatch that.
Yeah. I was just like, damn. Like, he straight up just... Imagine a Force push so strong, it probably just fractured his skull.
And you know what? I'm thinking about it. You're more right. We just need to look at these people as cannon fodder, as sad as it is to say.
Yes, that was the point of them, to watch them just get brutally murdered.
But I like Jedi, so I like seeing Jedi characterization. Because like early on, before they go on any of these missions, I think it's like back in episode 1. Yeah, I think episode 1. I like the interaction where Jackie, Soul's new Padawan. I liked when he said Soul was looking at an old picture of Osha, a hologram, and Jackie said, doesn't this bring attachment, which as Jedi we're not supposed to have?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like the trainee saying something. But as the experienced one, Soul says, attachment is good for us because it makes us, more compassionate to people.
Mm-hmm.
Basically telling them to be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there was also another moment like that in episode 1 where Obi-Wan said oh, I sense great disturbance, and Qui-Gon's like, don't let it distract you from the here and now. And Obi-Wan's like, oh, but I gotta be mindful. And he's like, no. Right now you gotta focus right here now.
Yeah, and that's when he was trying to take
I just love I like those little things where with Jedi, Master says something wise, and it really is true to life.
Okay.
Since I've lived life a little bit longer, I'm like, yeah, that's true. You need those attachments, man.
You're learning the Jedi ways.
A little bit. I'm leaving off for Kelnacca, said bye-bye.
Okay. Soul has an awesome multiple fights with Khmer, and we get to see Soul's fighting style really in action. One of the coolest things is Soul tends to punch at wrists.
This is true.
And I've never thought about it, but the purpose of doing these punches at the wrist is to make them drop their weapon.
Dang, he really is the ultimate Jedi.
He's disarming you.
Which makes it more sad that things ended up the way they did at the end of the show.
Yes. Khmer is also not afraid to start throwing punches, which this is the first time we've seen a Jedi and basically two Force users and lightsaber wielders physically just fighting each other.
Right.
Not using the Force and not really using their weapons. They're just literally just beating each other up at one point.
Which, that was a cool combination. I'm surprised we never got up. We never did that before.
Now, Khmer, he's got some really cool things going on. He uses the Force, but he likes his pushes and pulls. That's really what he does. His lightsaber can snap almost in half, so it's detachable.
And and then a little one comes out.
Yeah, and he has a smaller blade, which gives him agility.
Which I hated how he used it at the end of this episode.
Yep. And then he can lightsaber throw, which very few lightsaber throw. It's more popular
in the video games.
Yeah, in the video games, yep.
Force Unleashed.
Yep. Force Unleashed and also...
Fallen Order?
Yes, Fallen Order. I did that a lot. And... do you know the Cal's lightsaber? Have you seen it fully built? It's a dual blade lightsaber that he can break in half.
Ooh.
And he can throw one and still fight with the other one and bring the other one back to reconnect it into a dual blade or just have a single blade.
That's the beauty of video games.
Well, eventually we're going to have to start making lightsabers like this. And Khmer's very close with his two blades that he can throw and bring back to him. And then Jackie decides to start fighting Khmer, and she picks up Kelnacca's lightsaber and her own.
At that moment when I first saw this, I was like, okay, this little girl's got it.
Yeah.
She gonna help her friend Osha. She got the light side on her side. She gonna make everybody proud.
Yeah.
At Coruscant. She gonna come back as a champion.
She has that awesome where Soul's kind of pinning Khmer against the rock, and then Khmer's about to hit him really badly. And she does that uppercut jump. It's like a force jump.
And that's why I thought she was going to survive. Because It's like she's smaller. She's a little bit more agile, younger. So a little bit more flexible. I thought she has all the capabilities of having a W in this fight.
Yes. And she actually knocks him off balance. She's able to get him right where she needs him. And then Khmer has a different weapon. He has an arm brace and his helmet's made of the same material. I forgot what it's called. But it's basically the adamantium of the Star Wars world, apparently. And you can just destroy lightsabers with it. Because it's resistant to the blades.
Which was stupid cool when I saw it.
Yep. And he's able to disarm her. And then that's when he disattaches his lightsaber. And he stabs her 3 times rapidly.
And see, that's because on the other shows, when we see people get stabbed by lightsabers, they were okay.
Yeah.
That's why they did. They're like, no, she gone.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if we needed that third one, but...
she was a kid, man.
Yeah.
And that's why I hate with Khmer, when Osha later talks to Khmer and says, oh, you killed Jackie, and he's like, you weren't going to have a real relationship with her. I'm like, you didn't know that.
That's not just what he says. He also has another line.
Oh, like she's not able to feel. Are you talking about like she's?
No.
She won't. It's like a one-sided relationship.
She goes, "You killed Jackie, right?" And he goes, "Is that what its name was?" So he's so disattached from reality.
You're right. You did say that.
Even life, that he doesn't even acknowledge that there's like personalities and names to these people.
He's a psychopath.
Yes. He's kind of cool for it. And then eventually a wounded Yord tries to go up against Quimir. I hope I got this right. I can't remember if Yord gets attacked first. No, he does. He comes after Jackie, right?
Yes.
And then he ends up figuring out how to kind of like smack Quimir's lightsaber to make it malfunction.
Yes.
And then I think he takes his helmet. That's what he was using to hit the lightsaber with, right?
Yes.
And that's when he realizes that that's Quimir. That's that weird, sleazy guy in that shop. And he's like, "It's you." And he's like, "Who else would you think it was?" Quimir's lightsaber works again. No, it does. Yeah, he takes him hostage right there.
Yeah, he takes him hostage.
And that's when he's pointing the lightsaber at his head, and Soul's like, "Not like this." And then he just snaps Yord's neck and shocks his body away.
Man, that I was like, really?
Yeah, you lost 2 of your main characters in one fight. That's pretty devastating. And it's really unique for storytelling because that's only episode 5 of 8.
Yes.
You're like, what could the rest of this actually be? You know, all the Jedis that affected May and Osha and their coven, except for Soul, are dead. And now all the Jedi Knights that came with Soul are dead.
And see, all the more reason why Soul, you had to take him down right then and there. Don't let him say, "Oh, you gonna really unharm a person that ain't got no weapon." I'm like, you had weapons.
Yep. They end up getting switched because May knocks out Osha and takes her place.
Which, at that point of the show, when you saw them interacting, I was like, Disney, you guys have enough money to get twins. Not buy. To
hire another person.
To hire twins.
Yeah. I'm surprised So Osha and May are played by the same character.
Amanda Sterling, I think?
Stenberg.
I don't even... Okay.
Is that Amanda? I don't think that's Amanda.
Amandala, my bad.
Amandala Stenberg. She plays Osha and May as an adult, but there are 2 different actors for the kids.
Yeah, that was bad continuity.
That was just weird.
Just because the kids, they're twins, but they're not identical.
They're not, and one's better at acting.
Actually, I was gonna say it. But honestly, I feel like Star Wars, you guys just need to leave these kids alone with acting. But
it's too late. You got the Skeleton Crew coming. It's a kids show.
Oh yeah, that's right. That is a good show.
It's like 5 kids in that.
My bad. I was more fixated on when I saw the promotionals for it. I was more fixated on the blue, because what's the band called from Return of the Jedi that plays Jedi Rocks?
Oh my.
Max Rebo.
Yes.
There was the Max Rebo kid in there. I was fixated on him. I was like, we got a blue kid.
Yep.
Like, oh yeah, that's right. There's other actors.
Yes.
I forgot all about that. Well, leave after Skeleton Crew, no more children actors in Star Wars, because really the hate that y'all give them online it's a little warranted, but not to the extent that y'all go at it. Y'all out there, like Jake Lloyd did not deserve all that hate.
What do you mean? It's working. It's working.
I'm gonna make sure Mom doesn't sell you 3PO. Sell me. Bye.
Just dipped on him forever.
Bye. We were talking about the young twins and the acting.
Oh yeah. No, we're how they got separated, and now so Osha is now on this planet that I don't think we ever got a name to.
Well, I just want to say one more thing about the twins separating. Good job cutting your hair with the lightsaber.
I know, and not cutting your face.
I know everybody joked about it online, but I'm like, no, I'm just literally impressed.
That could have been really bad. So yeah, after that happens, they get separated, and Osha is with Quimir, where we also have another weird, like, shirtless man scene.
Yes. I know, I can't relate. I know you can't relate, but, like, you girls online went crazy over that. That was just crazy. All the Facebook posts I saw, all the TikTok, all the Instagram, I was like, man, you really obsessing about this dude.
Well, the interesting thing about the Acolyte is actually,
but he do got muscles. We do see that he got a little bit of a figure. So I was like, but I'm like, dang, like, because to me, I still see him as the kind of the wormy type.
Oh yeah, because he's wearing baggy clothes. He's trying to avert your expectations.
Yeah,
by doing that.
But I was just surprised. Like it wasn't even that much of. It wasn't that much baggy.
No, he just wears a poncho a lot.
Yeah. But it's like, dang, y'all really fell in love with this dude online.
Mm-hmm. If you look at the Acolyte, you'll realize that it's actually female-eccentric.
And I know people, and I know the thing that got the Acolyte so much hate was that, when they went a few months before the show came out, they had interviews, and, someone asked them an interview question about how, like, oh, is this going to be the gayest Star Wars?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that got brought up again with episode 3. A lot of people hated it just for, unnecessary homophobic reactions to it.
Which, in the show, isn't even really that, besides the stuff.
That's not even part of the story.
That's not part of the story. And then even with, the most sexual the show gets is with Chimere and Osha.
Yes.
Which is male on woman, or, heterosexual.
Yes. The weirdest thing is...
Which nobody brings up.
I did not feel that connection between the two of them.
I think it was too soon.
Yes, because at the very end...
But I can see how she could be drawn to him. I believe that. I believe she was drawn. Like, she was interested. Okay. Because they are together at the end. It's very much implied. As they hold their one red lightsaber together. I loved it. Greatest love story ever.
Yeah. We find out Chimere is or used to be a Jedi Padawan.
Yes.
I've done a lot of research on this character, and I've come up with 0. There's not much known about him. Chimere's probably not even his name. He's actually often...
Yeah, he seems like a scammer.
He's often known as the Stranger.
Yes.
And we only know about the Jedi stuff because he's mentioned it, and then the... Venestra. Who sensed him.
Yes. And he put that helmet right back off.
Yeah, Well, that's the thing. They were like, are you going to take that helmet off? And I think Soul told him this when they were fighting at one point, and he's like, why? To let you read my thoughts? So he's kind of... The helmet acts in a way like Juggernaut.
Or Magneto.
Yep.
Magneto, yeah, like that, I'm protected.
Yep.
I could be covered. Because I kind of think the Acolyte is him.
No.
I think it has, the Acolyte has a double meaning. It could mean May... But also him, I don't think he is the Sith apprentice at this point.
Yeah, I think he's a master. Oh,
I think Plagueis is the apprentice, and he has. I know in the old expanded universe, his name was Darth Tenebris, but I don't know who the Sith Lord is. Let's just say Darth. I think Darth Tenebris is still around, or whoever Plagueis' master is supposed to be.
I was reading about him. Yeah, that there. I was like, maybe that is Chimere.
Because I don't know, he just doesn't, I feel like he and this is his Acolyte, which just shows how confusing being a Sith Lord is. Don't be evil, kids. See, it just leads to...
Good stuff, like red lightsabers, cool helmets,
okay,
you get the girl.
No, but you see, how confused, because I'm like, wait, then who is the actual Acolyte? No, the Acolyte has an Acolyte of himself.
When he first appears in the show at the end of episode 1... we see May in the forefront, and he's standing in the back with his helmet on, and he turns on his lightsaber, and he says, "For an acolyte kills the dream."
For an acolyte kills the dream. Kills the dream.
I think he's talking about the Jedi Order, and taking a Jedi Padawan.
And that Jedi Order is solid as a rock.
It's not.
It's so solid.
It's got a lot of flaws, and that was the point of this series.
Listen, you just go... I think there could have been a better balance with that.
Yes.
With, seeing Jedi that are righteous, and then seeing them that are crooked.
Well, sadly, in that fight with all the Jedi versus Soul, all the righteous Jedi were killed.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so being a good guy is not going to be helpful in this story.
You just gotta tell the truth. Well, actually, at what point does it stop being... Well, actually, we should go back to the penultimate episode.
The penultimate episode?
Yeah.
The last one?
The second... No, penultimate means second to last.
Okay, we're building up. Yeah, so episode 7... Okay, did you notice this? 7 is the second half of 3... But there are certain things that don't play out the same in episode 7 that played out. They played out one way in 3, and they played out differently in 7.
Are we talking about, the scenes with Torben?
No, we get that more expanded, that the mother is messing with his mind with the Force.
Talk to me. Okay, then talk to me then, because I thought that lasted a little bit longer than...
So the way I've understood this is that episode 3 is the way Osha remembers the events.
Yes.
And what she's been told by Soul and how she's been able to piece it together, right?
Yes, and that's actually why I think it's kind of a nice thing. Because I do notice between episodes 3 and 7 feels more... like 3 feels like it doesn't have as many details.
Yes.
Actually, it felt kind of, when I first watched it felt kind of a little, how would I put it? Like, something just, the pacing of it just felt kind of off.
You're missing major parts of it, like their actual mother. You don't see her death.
So I think episode 3, looking back at it in that way, what you're talking about, like, it's kind of like childhood memories.
Yep.
Which, like, now I kind of think, oh, that's kind of secretly brilliant.
It is, because episode 7, because you already know some of the things from 3, episode 7 is how it truly happened.
And Dara does such a good
Soul.
job in that episode.
Yes. Well, she and Soul get into that weird fight.
But I think it's just so weird that, like, you want a Padawan so badly, Soul. Like
Yes, he was very selfish in that entire thing. He wanted to basically... He says it, Jedi don't steal kids. He did.
Yeah, like, I kind of wish we got more expansion on it. Just because it's like, why do you want a Padawan? Because, like, the only thing I can think of is that it's all for your ego.
Yeah.
Just the ego thing. But I want it to be more. Soul, I don't like to think that you're this terrible person, Soul.
He was, because in episode... No. Well, first of all, when Mother's starting to do this weird transformation with the Force, Soul immediately, this is his reaction, unsheaths lightsaber, stabs her in the stomach, kills her.
And then also, like, it's been prevalent in the show up until that point, but it was more apparent in episode 7. The Jedi feel like cops.
Yes.
Like crooked cops, especially.
That's what they are. That's the way they've always been in the galaxy. That's the way I perceive them. And when the Clone Wars happen, they have to take up a higher stance to be generals. But basically, all they're doing is trying to fight the droids. I don't even know why the droids are the bad guys. The Separatists?
Because it was written that way.
Yeah.
And because the Clone Wars series, there's like 5, like out of the 130 episodes there are 5 episodes that humanize Separatists.
Oh my god. So they're just bad guys for the sake of being bad guys.
Which is sad.
Yes.
Because it's like, those 5 episodes do a brilliant job of going like, no, the Separatists had a point.
I still don't know it.
But then there's some old expanded universe tales about... I could talk about the Separatists all day. But like, there were some old expanded universe things where the Separatists, they wanted... Like, if you're... Okay, like, that whole government system, whatever it would have became, if a planet went anarchy, they would have allowed it.
Mm-hmm.
So each planet would have regulated themselves, which I feel like, no, that's going to end up bad.
Yep.
I don't want the people to be hurt. Mm-hmm. There needs to be order.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of why Palpatine consolidated the galaxy, so that he can bring order using the Galactic Empire.
See, if you love the Empire so much, that's why you need to read the Heir to the Empire trilogy.
It's non-canon, though.
No, it's a great story. That's what we go for here. We go for great stories.
I want to just know canon. Because once they cut out all that stuff...
You are so lucky, because what you essentially saying is, I wasted so much of my youth with the expanded universe.
Dude, it happened in one day. Disney made the announcement, and then just that same day...
That was my Order 66.
Yes, it's called Legacy.
That's why I'm not as attached. Like, it has to be a good story for me to get invested in, to read.
Yeah.
Like, I don't just read everything now. Like, I'm very selective at this point.
Yeah, sometimes it just feels like a waste of time, you know.
And it does, because the whole thing about I liked what they said about George Lucas. He said that the original Star Wars is supposed to be like, if you opened a book in the middle of the page, like, that's what Star Wars is. Mm-hmm. Like, and it's supposed to feel that way. It's supposed to feel like a breathed in, lived in universe. Like, you know, even during the next movie, time has passed.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Star Wars fans, you guys don't need every single detail out there. Because that is kind of obsessive.
It does, especially once you start finding out, like, for years watching the original trilogy.
Yes.
And seeing that one woman, the dog again, seeing that one woman who's part of the rebels, who's wearing all white.
Mm-hmm. Mon Mothma.
Mon Mothma has a name and a purpose. She shows up in different pieces of Star Wars because she's actually an important character. But in the movies that she's originally introduced in, She's just there.
And she's only introduced in Return of the Jedi. Like, if we're talking about, like, the purists of Star Wars...
She's not on Hoth?
No.
I thought she was.
No, you might be confusing that, because there was a short story about, like, why she was... Because in Return of the Jedi, that scene where you see Mon Mothma in her first appearance, she looks a little sad. Mm-hmm. She actually gets a letter that her son didn't make it out of Hoth.
Oh.
So, there's a story that goes around about it. I think some people, like, it's like a Mandela effect.
Okay.
So, yeah, she was not... I could bet money on it. I've seen these movies so many times, especially the first 6. Yeah, she was not there.
Okay.
Return of the Jedi was the only movie she was in. But if you watch Andor...
She's in there.
She's in there. And
she's in Solo.
Wait, was she? No, she was in Rogue One.
There's a Rogue, okay. Should have killed her.
Nah, man. No, especially the actress. She was supposed to be in Revenge of the Sith.
That would make sense.
But all her scenes got deleted.
At one point...
Because Padme had, like, a whole subplot.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Where would that have fit in?
Sparse throughout the movie. I think it would have been kind of interesting. You could see most of it online. She was gonna be the foundation of the rebellion.
Okay.
So she had little meetings with, like, other senators, and Mon Mothma was there, and they're, like, talking about, what are we gonna do with our republic? This war can't go on too long. And they're like, well, we gotta be, republic purists, so we're gonna make an organization.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Okay. I've seen a lot of deleted scenes that didn't make it, that I'm just like, oh, if you put that back in, it would actually be a cooler movie.
Yes. And it's sad that they don't pay attention.
Before we get sidetracked again. Episode 7. So, when Soul comes in after the fire to save the sisters.
Yes.
Back to episode 3. No. In episode 3, he doesn't save May. He doesn't even try. He goes straight for Osha because he's like a little late. Right? In 7, the way it really played out, he was trying to hold up both those bridges that they were on that was about to collapse. But then he couldn't.
Just dropped the girl.
He did. He literally let go of May because he decided he wanted to keep Osha because he had already made his decision like long before he even told his friends that there were people on that planet.
And man, that was cold. That was really messed up.
Soul let a little girl die.
Killed her mom too.
Yes, he killed both their moms.
Oh, both their moms. Yes, both their moms.
That's your hero of this story? Your Jedi master?
That's why I was really sad at the end.
So...
Yeah, those last 2 episodes, especially I like the... Besides those points when Soul starts to suck, like, episode 7 is really fun until he starts sucking.
Yeah.
As a person.
But then he does have that fight with Kelnacca, where you see him again coming in to do that punch of the wrist.
Kelnacca, no.
And he disarmed him that way, and I was like, that's pretty awesome.
But man, I feel bad for German. He got his whole face messed up.
Oh, dude, he was useless in everything. He didn't do anything. He complained like Luke. He got beat up.
He wanted to go home,
and then he just went into isolation for the next 8 years.
Which makes me go crazy because it's like, what's so fun on Coruscant for Jedi younglings or Padawans for you to want to go back so soon?
I would guess his friends. In the Jedi temple.
But you guys are always working. I don't know. That's something that this show could have explored. Actually, this show would have been a lot better had it just been set on Coruscant.
I don't think it would have worked.
You don't think it would have worked?
Also, that would have been more of a true crime kind of thing.
Yes, I want that.
Okay.
You don't want a true crime?
I don't know. It's kind of a space opera. It's supposed to be all over the place. I think having something grounded like that would be kind of annoying. Even Andor can't stay in one spot.
This is true.
Obi-Wan, they couldn't be on Tatooine that entire time.
No, they could have been. They needed to have been.
No,
especially... No, because I was so confused by that, because the way Mandalorian Season 1 was, we always at a desert planet.
Navarro.
We can't... Exactly. We can't... That and, because sometimes Mandalorian Season 1, just, production-wise, it feels kind of cheap a little bit. So I'm like, if you guys want to... it's still a great season. I'll say it's the best season out of the show. Mm-hmm. But just dang, you guys really trying to go minimal.
They weren't very sure of it. It was the first live-action Star Wars show, and...
We were waiting for that show for a long time.
Yes, the amount of time it took, because it was supposed to be Boba Fett. It was supposed to be a movie, and then it became a TV show, and then it got canceled, and then it got brought back, and it was supposed to be Boba Fett again, and then that got destroyed. And
then we eventually did get a Boba Fett show called The Book of Boba Fett, but where was the book?
I don't know, but half that show is just The Mandalorian.
Which was such a dumb mistake.
It should have just been called The Mandalorian Season 2.
Or Season 3. Wait, Season 3.
It's Season 2 because it's in between.
Oh.
Yeah, Season 3, you're right. But yeah, it should have been, and then we would have had Mando Season 4.
Actually, when the show, it's an okay show. The part where it loses me is when we meet the biker kids.
And their colorful speed bikes.
Yeah,
like, they're the most.
That would have fit so much better on Solo.
Sure. It would have fit better on any other planet.
Except Tatooine, which is supposed to be a dumpster fire.
Yes. And it's like, how do you have a ruby red speed bike out here?
Exactly. And seeing all those kids there, because to me, like, one of the things that, like, I always felt about Luke was that, like, he didn't have that many people in his childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but now you show me all these girls and all these boys. I'm like, Luke wouldn't have been complaining.
Well, Annie did have that group of kids that would, like, tease him while he was trying to build his pod racer.
Right.
So there are kids on Tatooine. I mean...
Oh, wait, you're talking about Anakin.
Yeah.
No, I said Luke.
Oh, yeah, when Luke's around.
You made the same mistake the dude on the show did. Because if you don't realize how blowing up the Death Star was just as bad when Anakin did it, or whatever he said something to that effect.
Anakin destroyed the Death Star?
Yeah, remember Yord, the Yord actor.
What are you...
Yord's actor. Remember in the press screening, Yord said this? The dude that plays Yord?
No, I don't know.
Wait, hold on, let me see. Because people had a field day about it.
Does he, like, grammatically mess up or something?
He says, no, because he actually mentions a lot of the stuff you mentioned that the Empire, to a certain point of view, is good. And he says, because if you can't see that, how Anakin blowing up the Death Star was bad... And that's how the clip ends, because nobody listens.
So is he just messing with people at that point?
You know what? I'm going to give him the credit and say yes, he was, because he wanted to see... Because here's the thing, I don't think everybody that's involved in Star... I can't pull it up. I can't... Just because you're involved in Star Wars, that doesn't mean you're a Omega fan.
Yeah.
Actually, the best Star Wars show on TV now, Andor, the guy said he's not even a Star Wars fan to begin with.
Yeah, Diego Luna.
No, not Diego Luna. It was the guy that's running the show. What's his name? He did the...
Star Wars dude. Dave, right?
No, what's his name? It's gonna bother me. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
I'm gonna go past the loading thing.
So, episode 7 ends with the truth being revealed, and episode 8 is the conclusion of the entire thing. There is a... May does not kill Soul. Osha kills Soul using the Force Choke. This is the first time we ever saw the Force Choke canonically used.
But I thought I was like, oh, okay, kill without using a weapon.
Yep.
I was like, oh, you stupid. But yeah.
Yeah. And then they decide to wipe May's memory, and this leads with Osha and Quamir being the two Sith Lords until we're revealed in a cave on that island that they're hanging out on. There's a very creepy character that this is the first time they've ever been shown in live action.
Just lurking.
Yep.
And I liked how they kept the design from the expanded universe. Because when they made Dark Plagueis, the book, the guy, James Luceno, he actually had a lot of talks with George Lucas about what he should be.
Yes.
A Munilin.
Yes, and he is. And the thing is, these guys, they're like 9 feet tall. They're skinny. They have long foreheads. You can see one of them in Revenge of the Sith.
Or more prevalent on Clone Wars 2003, the micro series from Cartoon Network.
The better Clone Wars.
Actually, you know what? Because Ginty's my guy. Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, I mean, that one's a lot easier to keep up with.
Just because it's only 2 hours. And
each episode's like 15 to 10 minutes.
And the cool part about it was that was coming out when in between 2 and 3.
That's how I was able to fill myself in to literally where that series ends with Grievous. Yeah, General Grievous kidnapping Palpatine.
Yeah, that was the cool part. The show ends where...
and then the movie begins right there.
Because I remember that came out the week before Revenge of the Sith, the midnight premiere.
Yep.
On Thursday. Yeah, remember with the midnight premiere? I remember when they stopped doing that.
They still have it.
No, but you can go like the Thursday before.
Yeah, you can now go Thursday afternoon.
Thursday, 3 p.m. But remember those midnight premieres? That was something you had to...
I remember midnight premieres for video games.
Ooh.
Where you would be outside a GameStop and then some dude would just roll up in his car and then just open up the door and turn on the lights.
But I feel like that only lasts us for like a few minutes after that happens. It's kind of like a New Year's Eve ball drop effect.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, but it's like you at the midnight, but you staying up later than usual to go see it.
It was usually for just the dedicated fans.
Yes.
You know, film fanatics.
You guys got to stay up late to go see this.
Yeah. And then, you come into work or you don't, depending how you plan it out.
Or going to school. You in public school.
Schools still work.
No, I feel like it's worse. Because, like, you a little kid and you just trying to make it through the day. Because kids, I feel like when you're tired when you were a kid, it's harder.
Yeah, I guess you can't just walk away from school until high school.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then as an adult, you could just always walk away.
Like, I can miss the day at work.
Yeah, that's the shitty thing about that system, huh? Yeah, so the Acolyte ends that way with a senator on Coruscant talking to... Who's the green girl? Venestra. About opening an investigation into the Jedi Council and the way they're running things, because he feels that they're unchecked and unbalanced.
Which they are.
And they are, and we find out that they're hiding things.
Yes, and even, like, expanded universe or canon, there's still that 1,000... Like, before episode 1, there's still that 1,000 years of quote-unquote peace.
Mm-hmm.
To me, like, for 1,000 years for the Republic to be in peace with no wars...
They were definitely killing people behind.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. And plus, that just makes the story more interesting.
It would. And it does.
Like, I just hate how people go, like, all the prequel Jedis and the Acolyte Jedis are two different beasts. I'm like, no, they're not.
We see Yoda. He was a puppet, by the way. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they didn't CGI him.
Well, it's because the way that they have him appear on the show.
Yeah, you just see the
you
back
blink,
of his
you
head.
miss it.
Yeah, I also think that kind of just starts that debate again. Is it a puppet or do we CGI him? How do we feel about George going back and messing with these films?
I'm happy he didn't do it for Empire Strikes Back because he was trying to figure out how to do it for that.
Oh, was he really?
Yes.
I think it would be way harder because he's physically interacting. Yeah, he's physically there touching things. You know, when he's crawling around in that, and Luke's little thing and he pulls out like the candy bar.
Yes.
And he actually takes a bite out of it.
Yeah, you would have to change so much of the... I mean, it would be interesting to see, but there would be just so much work to get into that.
Just AI it.
No. And, Puppet Yoda from Phantom Menace, disgusting.
But you like the CGI one?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least it's, it keeps up, the continuity.
Okay. I think the weirdest thing that he did with Episode 5 was Palpatine.
Palpatine was the weirdest thing?
Because he's a giant CGI
Yeah,
face.
oh, yes.
Yeah, in Vader's command room. I don't know, I didn't like it. It doesn't make sense. Also, that I don't even think that's the original actor of Palpatine. I think that's Ian McDonald.
Yes. Yeah, because you're talking about the unaltered editions. Or no, the special... You're talking about the altered editions.
Yeah, these are the ones that are currently on Disney+. There are different versions of these films for some reason.
See, and that's the thing. Disney, there's a gold mine here with the unaltered.
You could, re-release it physically. People would freak out, especially as a collector's set.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, that's the gold mine right there.
Yeah.
But I actually have different versions of the film. Like, there's somebody online who did, like, he calls it the perfect special edition for Empire Strikes Back, where, like, because you know how, like, in some scenes on Dagobah, it looks like a matte painting. He somehow rotoscoped it and he made it look further out.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, he did a lot of special effects on The Empire Strikes Back where I'm like, this movie just looks more beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm someone that likes the special edition for The Empire Strikes Back more. Because Cloud City just looks more filled out.
It does.
It integrates well with the CGI.
Yeah, there wasn't really much going on there originally, right?
Yeah, because it was just like, there wasn't any windows. It's like, okay, here's the set.
Cloud City is just something different.
You don't like Cloud City?
It's clearly the bad guys... It's a trap. It clearly is a trap. It's too sterile there. If you look at those hallways and how the people of Cloud City...
Oh, you're talking like a THX 138? Yeah, it actually kind of is sterile.
Yeah, it's just completely...
I think the original cut of the film looks more sterile.
No, I mean, like, the hallways are... The floors are reflective. It's... When I see things like that, I'm like...
Even the special edition changes, you feel that way?
Yeah.
Okay, I can kind of see that.
It's just like we've always been in environments of either forest or desert or beat up kind of like machinery, industrial kind of things going on. And then when you see those hallways, it's kind of jarring. And I don't know. There's also Lando.
See, you just pushed another thing why I like it now, because I never thought about that. It does feel kind of like it's giving what's it called? It's giving, I'm dealing with a long case sentence.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. That's actually brilliant.
Yeah, when you start looking at films, you start to piece things together like that. I could be totally wrong.
I always liked how Cloud City looked.
Okay.
Dang, yeah, because I used to like how it looked. Also when I think of Cloud City, I think of more of the CGI effects where we're following that, the orange vehicle, and we're just looking around.
Orange vehicle.
Yeah, the orange, the one that's it's connected.
Yeah, the two people riding it side by side. Yeah, probably the dumbest design I've seen.
No,
since
what are you
Avatar.
talking about? That's beautiful. You gotta ride together.
Like
that's gonna make married people focus.
What is that bike where your friend sits next to you?
Oh, the unicycle? No, the tricycle.
It's not really a tricycle.
No, not tricycle.
It's a motorcycle with a cab on it.
Oh, that?
Yeah.
You don't like that?
It's the same thing. Just it flies now.
I always assumed that you had to work together to fly it.
That would be even dumber.
I love that.
That would be like getting inside a giant mech with your best friend, but together you have to work to make it interact.
Yeah, like Voltron.
I was actually pointing at Pacific Rim.
Oh.
I like kaiju movies. I don't like Pacific Rim. It's just a stupid concept. Why?
No, that was.
Yeah, why are we adding this element of more difficulty to it?
Wait, do you think Voltron is difficult?
I haven't seen Voltron.
You haven't? Okay.
Oh, is this the new one that came out?
No, just classic Voltron.
Okay. I heard the new one's good. It's on Netflix.
Is it?
Yeah, it's animated.
I didn't know that. Wait, and then there was something I wanted to mention for the last episode. Yeah, so honestly, he looks like he got weaker and weaker, and when Vanestra threw him under the bus.
Yep. No, that was the right thing to do.
No, what?
You can't have the civilians and government officials of Coruscant trying to interfere with what's happening there.
Right.
Because they would all die.
But actually, I think the right thing was 16 years ago, where we were like, yeah, we destroyed a witch covenant.
It was 8 years.
No, 16.
8.
It was
the
16.
girls are 16 in the show.
No, it was 16 years. Wait, look it up. 16 years earlier.
All female covenant witches on Brendok. Wow. Wait, so then they're 24?
Yeah.
I feel better now. I always thought they were 16.
No, then that scene with Kymir would have been weird because he's in his 30s.
That's why. I was
okay,
like,
you thought.
What? Yeah. I was like, Disney, stop it with this.
I know some people feel weird about it, or have, but I feel like a 24-year-old woman can talk to a 33-year-old man.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, okay. I'm okay with it, but I can see why some people would be against it.
Well, I just thought she was 16, and I was just like, I'm not cool with that.
Heck no, Disney, no.
But, okay.
They can't be doing that again. Not after Snow White.
You mean Peter Pan?
Peter Pan.
Pocahontas?
Actually, Pocahontas is probably the one with the most allegations against them.
Oh, yeah. You're like, ooh.
Oh, but that scene with the senator, I liked when he said, "Oh, Vanestra, what do y'all say? May the force be with you."
Yeah, how do you say it? May the force be with you.
Yeah, there we go. To me, that scene felt like something that should have been in episode 1. I wish he was a recurring character.
Well, there are many ways to tell someone to F off, right?
Yes.
Like, if someone does something horrible to you, right? And you're, like, back at the grocery store, right? You go, I hope you have a great day. You add a little bit of sarcasm on that. You're saying, go yourself, right?
Right.
That was what he was saying.
No, I get it. I feel like I would have liked... I liked the way he acted.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to see more of him.
I'm sure if we got a second season, as of the recording of this, we are not confirmed for a second season. I'm afraid it won't get one.
You don't think it's going to get one?
I don't think so. I don't think enough people liked it. Which is sad, because I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, but because
enough to start a new project.
Because the director said that, yes, it's going to be the gayest Star Wars, but in like a very sarcastic way, y'all didn't give it a chance.
There's also this thing of Hollywood is not really well connected to what everyone else is doing.
Right.
And to say something like that out loud would be very jarring to some of your audience.
Right.
We sadly don't live in the world of open-mindedness quite yet.
Right.
I don't know why they would go around and start saying things like that. I noticed they went very quiet after that, which I would assume that would be Disney saying, shut up.
That was probably the best thing.
Yeah, like a lot of this with the new Cinderella. Or, God, you got me doing it.
Little Mermaid. But what's wrong with Snow White?
The dwarves.
Yeah, what's wrong with them? What's happening?
You don't know the stuff going on there?
No, what happened?
They were all going to be different, like, things, because they're all CGI'd. And then now they've double backed on everything to make them these CGI dwarves.
What were they going to be before?
They were supposed to be, like, different creatures.
That would have been kind of cool.
I think they were supposed to be, like, forest spirits or something like that.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little out there.
But then, yeah, it all became this big problem of, like, hey, you're not giving equal employment to other people, and you're also ruining the source material.
Which is kind of dumb, because it's like, when you deal with Hollywood, Hollywood's all about... That's why I like the new Batman movie, because it kind of went against the Hollywood thing about, like, your actors need to look beautiful. The Batman.
You're saying Robert Pattinson's ugly?
Well, okay, look at Christian Bale, especially at that time in The Dark Knight.
He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, he's got that going on, and then, like, look at Selena Kyle, you know, Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's an always winner.
And then, yeah, exactly, like just like stardom.
Mm-hmm.
But look at the Batman, Selena Kyle.
Zoe looks fine.
She looks good, but like but in the movie she just looks like a girl that's had a pretty bad week.
Yeah, well,
which is understandable, because she's dealing with wasn't she like a stripper in it? I don't know, like
yeah, because she's working at the club at the
club within a club. I remember it was a club within a club.
The Iceberg Lounge, yeah.
Yeah, which was so, like, honestly, those scenes in that movie, it honestly made me feel dirty. And I give that as a compliment, that the Batman just felt like corruption was all around.
Yes.
And people weren't good at covering it, because people are just so sick of...
They didn't care.
They didn't care.
That's the whole purpose of Batman being there.
Yeah, and the Dark Knight kind of, I mean, you see the corruption, but, like, there's a lot of charisma that the actors have in comparison.
Yeah, I would say the Batman... Gotham is a lot more grittier than
like it really
other interpretations of it.
Like how can you be a saint in Sodom and Gomorrah? Like, that's the question that kept popping in my head when I watched the Batman.
That's a really intense question to ask yourself.
How are you a saint when all this stuff? And I just mean in the sense of, like, corruption going around. Like, how do you keep yourself clean? Because, like, here's the thing: when I watch the movie with Selena Kyle's part in it, I don't feel bad. Like I do. I feel bad. I mean, I feel bad for you, but I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get why you're doing all this, like, you need to get this money to get out of here.
Yeah. Well, her dad's also a mob boss. That doesn't help.
He should have just been nicer.
No. He's a mob boss.
I don't know. But see, that goes back to my question. How do you be a saint? What could the mob boss do to be better?
I think the answer to that, especially with Batman, is that you're not going to be. Because even look at Bruce. Bruce turned to vigilantism to prevent this. Yet, while trying to stop...
But he's the world's greatest detective.
I love the movie, don't worry. I sat down through all 4 hours, held my pee the whole time. I loved it. I think it's the best Batman movie ever made. I really will go that far. And I'm very excited for September 19th when The Penguin comes out.
I'm excited too.
Yep.
We should talk about that too.
I'm sure.
So wait, is this going to be an exclusive Star Wars podcast, or is this going to be whatever comes to mind?
Whatever comes to mind.
Okay.
We do have a Google Doc where we're writing ideas in.
Yes.
I saw that you found it. I've been just kind of throwing ideas that we've thrown around.
Yes, so the Penguin is sooner than the Skeleton Crew. So do you want to do weekly reviews of the Penguin when it comes out?
It would be a pain in the ass for me.
What about every 2 episodes?
I was going to say wait till it's finished and then we just sit down and do another one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I already have a weekly podcast.
Right.
You want to go bi-weekly?
Yeah, bi-weekly. Like every 2 weeks. Late September. So we got a whole month to plan it.
Yeah. Along with this episode will be, I mean, it's already over 2 hours.
Oh, dang. I didn't know we were keeping you guys up that late.
Yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. What did you think of the Acolyte? Like, what's your final opinion on it?
Acolyte, it was all right.
Okay.
Brilliant, but lazy.
I loved it. I love Quamir. I loved his fighting style. He was almost reckless, but intelligent with it. I love seeing the corruption of the Jedi. I always wondered why they had so many rules that, like, it was inevitable for Anakin to fall through. But what about all the other Jedis? There had to be other ones who had emotional trauma that had to be like, I can't do this. I can't, like, not have someone that I love. There's got to be a point where you have emotions. You can't just oversee that. For Soul to mess up that bad and basically destroy an entire coven, kidnap a kid, that's what he did. Was very interesting to me. And if they were to make a second season, I want to see the atrocities that happened to Quamir and why he's no longer a Jedi. Because he's got scars all over his back.
Yeah, what the heck did Vanessa do to him?
Yeah. Well, she's got that whip. I hope you guys enjoy.
Oh, wait, before we go, you
yeah.
said the Batman was your favorite. So out of the other two that everybody else loves, okay, where does The Dark Knight and Batman 89 fall? If we just do those three.
89. You mean Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a terrible movie.
Oh, dang. Okay, so it's dead last.
His Bruce is terrible. His Batman is terrible. I know that we have to start somewhere, and we have to try. But even, like, the special effects are just bad. You could still see the cables on him. Tim Burton's not a great director.
This actually, I kind of believe that. He's kind of overhyped.
Yes. I did not like Wednesday.
I did not like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, that's a terrible movie.
But people loved it when it came out, and I was like, shut up.
It's because his name is on it, and he has weird, goofy antics, and that's what people tend to go towards. Also, a lot of people think he directed Nightmare. He didn't. He wrote a poem.
Yes.
So, calm down. He's not this great imaginary genius that everyone thinks he is. As for The Dark Knight, I've seen it probably 30 times. It's a great film. It's a great cinema film, but there's not enough Batman. There's a point where it's no longer about Bruce or Batman. It's Joker. And then we move away from Joker, and it's all about Harvey.
But considering that, we don't get that much of Heath Ledger after The Dark Knight, I'm okay with that.
What do you mean? Like, no more Heath?
Yeah, no more Heath Joker after The Dark Knight, so I'm okay with the scenes. Like I savor all those scenes.
Okay.
When I watch the movie.
Do great as the Joker. I also like Joaquin Phoenix as Arthur Fleck.
Yes.
Jared Leto was...
Actually, I would have loved had the Joker movie been called Arthur.
That would have really tripped some people up.
No, and then the cool part is, like, put the DC logo on it.
Mm-hmm. And then everyone's like, it's Arthur Curry.
That too. But also, the way I rank Batman is that I don't like dealing with anything that's not the Batman the Animated Series from 1992,
Yep.
Especially the original run. Yeah, Kevin Conroy, not the new Batman Adventures where the art style changed because the DC Animated Universe was becoming more simplified. For art style direction, BTS's first 3 seasons, that was hard for them to animate like that.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, but I have to give it to the Tim Burton's Batman because that was the inspiration for that.
Yes, they heavily borrowed from that, along with Danny Elfman's score.
But I'm good because BTS is the greatest Batman.
It's a fun show. It really is.
It's a masterpiece.
Not all episodes. It will lead you into the Justice League.
No, but I'm just saying the first 3 seasons, like, you guys only had a year to make it, but, like, there's a lot of great episodes there.
Yeah.
Out of that 83 run, I'll say, like, probably only like 10 are duds. That's impossible to do.
Every episode with the Mad Hatter
is a dud to you.
Yeah, I don't care for that character. Did you watch the Cape Crusade?
Yes. Dang it, I wish we had more time. I want to talk about that too.
Okay, we'll throw it in for another time.
Okay, I just want to say this. First of all, that episode when he at the museum and they have his mom's pearls up there and he hears that guy behind him. Bruce Wayne hears the guy behind him saying, like, serves her right for bringing those pearls. He deserved all measures of that punch.
I said the same thing on my own podcast.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I was like...
Okay, because I didn't hear that episode.
It's okay.
No, that's crazy that we said the same thing.
Yeah,
he didn't need to go to therapy.
No, I would think because he's so rich and famous and because the guy...
Everybody knows about this. Like,
yeah,
that's the
he's
thing.
saying things about your dead mom. Like, I would have been like, you're fine. Go
just
home.
pay the fine.
Yeah. You don't just attack the reporter for that.
Because really, you're not supposed to hit people. So if they wanted him to pay fines, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of like, I understand why you did it.
Yeah.
I would not have had him go to the counseling sessions.
Well, we got to keep that story going somehow and introduce Harley Quinn.
But I did like how, in a sense, he did kind of see the psyche.
Yeah,
his psyche a little bit. Because, he does have high walls like that.
Yep. And he was starting to mess with himself.
So... like I was telling people, like, Primal. Did you see Primal a few years back?
No.
It was made by Gendy Tartakovsky.
No.
The same guy that did Samurai Jack.
Is this the guy riding on the T-Rex?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch
The Caveman?
No.
I would say Samurai Jack was my favorite of his works. Primal did it.
Really?
Yes. Regular Show was great, and if Close Enough got to continue, Close Enough would have been it. But how I feel about Cape Crusader... Is it better than BTS? No way.
It's a different story. It's a different take on characters.
But do you remember how Dick Grayson was there as a little orphan?
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of hope they just keep him as an orphan this time around.
But he never gets adopted?
Yeah, never gets adopted. Just leave him there. That'd be so funny. Plus, you Batman, you're supposed to be the solo crusader.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of weird things with Batman and young boys.
Well, I wasn't going to go that deep.
But then you start to question a lot of things, like, what is he really doing here? And I don't mean sexually. I mean, like, just, is he trying to
hold on. Okay, because we got Richard Grayson, we got Jason Todd, we got Tim Drake, we got Damian Wayne. But Damian Wayne don't even count in that because that's his own son.
Still Robin. That's
his own son, though. That's his. That was his seed. That came out of him.
We know what son means.
And then Jason. Actually,
I'm missing one.
No, Stephanie Brown.
No, Kelly.
Oh, Kelly. Well, see, here's the thing. She's from The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
So, but that's kind of not really.
She's an honor, dude. She's still a Robin guy.
But that's an out of continuity story.
I think it's canon. In my own heart.
It's in your own heart. I don't like what they did later on with the Dark Knight Returns 2 and 3.
I didn't read 3.
But Dark Knight Returns, if you never read it before, that graphic novel, that's a masterpiece. Go read it.
It's definitely interesting. Frank Miller's perception on Superman.
Yes.
And Reagan.
But see, that's actually, I have some problems with that story because to me, Superman and Batman are best of friends.
Well, yeah, but Batman kind of went a little too hard.
And plus, I kind of see, like, the thing I like about their friendship is that Superman and Batman, they both have something that the other wants. Batman.
Family?
No, well, that too. Batman desires to have the powers of Superman.
Sometimes, yes, he will.
Yeah. If he had all that power, he
would be able to stop it.
Because that's the whole thing about Batman. That's why you watch Batman Begins, because you like to see the capacity of what a man can be.
Hmm?
So obviously, if he could get that, that's him. And Superman always liked his dedication, how stone cold he could be.
Mm-hmm. He also bails Superman out multiple times.
Yes. Because he's a real friend.
Yeah, he also pays for his food and drinks in reality.
He's a real friend.
Yeah. Do you want to plug anything? Do you want to replug your channel?
Yes. I'm going to send you a picture so you can put it up on the thing. Yes, it's Kelnacca, KalRizzian. Yeah, but yeah, this was fun, y'all. This was my first podcast. I hope I did a good job. I'm going to learn from this. Actually, I just saw a thing last night. I didn't get to see it, like how to podcast.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm going to read that.
Don't worry. In time, you'll start to get it.
I'll start to get it?
Because I'm not even perfect at it either. But I am doing better. Again, this will be released on my channel?
Yes.
Okay. So then you're already here at Very Bottom. We're
going to come up with a name for this. Untitled name.
I do a Let's Play thing called PowerOn that runs throughout the week. Right now we're currently playing Stellar Blade. It's an awesome video game. I do film reviews, like I said. Sometimes I'll do little shorts or videos about cryptids. Because I just love the stories of them and how they come to be into our world. Whether they're real or not, they're really... I like folklore.
Yes. That's why you have such a connection with the Indiana Jones films.
Probably, yeah. And that's why I hate 4 so much. Can't believe you like that one.
No, it was a better ending to everything than Dial of Destiny.
It broke everything.
Oh, it didn't.
It did.
Well, really, if we really want to go that far back about what broke what, I would say Last Crusade probably broke more things.
No, because it's a self-contained story because of this ending. There's no proof that it happened.
The Last Crusade?
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? Explain it to me.
Because the Grail is lost, and the path to it is forever closed.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes, I remember that. But the thing about it is that that's not even like a biblical thing. That's more Arthurian legend.
Yes, it is a legend.
So it's kind of like... I don't know, because like, I know that's like one of the criticisms it gets... Like, why it's not Raiders. Like, why people don't look at it as Raiders. Because Raiders is the one that's universally loved.
Yeah. And the Ark of the Covenant.
Is a very big thing in the Hebrew Bible, Old Testament, for you guys that aren't in the know.
Yeah, because Moses is the guy carrying that thing around.
Yes, the Levites. Aaron and the Levites.
We do the cryptid videos. I have a weekly podcast that comes out on Thursdays called Coffee Break.
Yes.
Where I talk more about like rumors and news in the industries and do smaller reviews of things that I've watched. Currently I'm watching, was it the 5th season of Solar Opposites? I can't believe it's gone on this long. Do you know Solar Opposites?
No, in a good way or a bad way?
It's good.
Okay.
I don't like adult animation. This show I do like.
Is it like Family Guy levels or a little bit smarter than that?
It's like No, it's Family Guy levels, yeah. It's very dumb. I hope you guys enjoyed. We're going to keep going with this series. The Acolyte was very fun. I know we got sidetracked. There's a lot of things that we're still learning about each other, and we have very similar hobbies and tastes.
Yes.
We tend to like different ones, and like we saw with Spider-Man and Star Wars.
Yes.
You know.
Wait, who's your favorite Spider-Man?
Like of all Spider-Mans?
Yeah.
Peter.
No, I'm talking about actor-wise.
It's definitely not Tom Holland. I don't
like Tom. Likewise. Okay, that's one thing we agree on.
Andrew Garfield was an interesting choice. We can't judge that second movie. That thing was torn to pieces on the cutting floor. That's why it's so jarring. Sony had so many different ideas. They ruined their own film doing that. And Tobey Maguire, the first two are great. In fact, I would consider Spider-Man 2 one of the greatest superhero films ever made.
For me, Spider-Man 2 is, you gotta love the whole romance plot between them.
Not really there.
Yes, that's the whole thing. That's the whole ending.
Yeah, the ending.
No, but that's his whole motivation. That's why he all messed up in the head.
Yeah.
No, it plays a bigger part in the movie than people like to give it credit for.
I think the more interesting part is Otto.
That's how the movie begins.
Well, yeah, he's still
looking at a
daydreaming
billboard. Yeah,
which is so dumb because it goes back on the ending of the first one.
Exactly, and then like, I just don't like the whole trope of, oh, this is the girl I've been in love with since I was a little kid, so I gotta stay in love with her.
That is the trope.
I hate that.
He made it.
I hate that.
It's the girl next door. That's MJ.
And then it's like also what I don't like that goes along with the trope is that she has like a number of guys that are not saying that you're not allowed to date, but it's like, come on, man, don't be so fixated on one person. Mm-hmm. Especially since you haven't even done the talking phase with her.
Peter's shy. That's all I can say.
Yeah, like that. Why is that such a trope? The shy guy that's interested in
because he has to become that strong, cool hero. He's going through the hero's journey himself.
Okay, I'll give you that.
There we go. We full circled it. I'm gonna say end of podcast.
End of podcast.
Bye.
Bye.